morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know everything's good to go. Of course, it'll take a minute for me to see it in the chat, so I'm just gonna. Well, I could keep talking, but then I might run out of things to say, but I doubt it. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in and being here with us. If y'all don't mind, hit that like button on your way in. Do us a solid. And thanks for coming, like I said. We got a lot to unpack. Most of you who come here a lot know we weren't live yesterday. I had a lot going on at home and I was tired and I got frustrated and I got really, really fed up with the internet. And so I turned it all off. I turned off every one of those freaking out talking heads that I was watching. And I'm going to explain why. But I'm going to take my time and chill. Let me see who's here so far. Ruth Ann, welcome in. Stephanie, welcome in. Tricia, real happy. Always good to see you guys for coming in. And always our mod team is here. Butterfly, Rachel, and Forrest are here with us. For all of those who just like to watch and you're not really chatting, we really appreciate you here as well because those views really, really matter. And I appreciate y'all coming back and us just having these discussions right around all the things that are happening. And there's a lot. There was something I really did want to review with you guys, and we may do it at the end of the show, but I may come back and do that tonight because there's just very interesting things about it that I want to talk about. And that is the audio from the night Carlos was pulled over. Now, I'm not listening to it because I want to say, poor Carlos. I'm listening to it because I'm listening to the investigators talk, and you can learn about their investigation from that conversation they were having with one another, right? Internet kind of blew up in support of Carlos all of a sudden. Well, there's a small group, let me say that. But here's the thing. I've sat here as a grown-ass woman for nearly a week listening to everybody scream how they're not doing their job. Well, don't know why they looked at Carlos, but they had to look at Carlos. So can people sit down? Here's the thing about Carlos. He wasn't done wrong, but I'd be more concerned about who I pissed off that might have tipped off the FBI on me if I was, really not guilty of anything. But I don't know if anybody tipped them off to Carlos or not. One person I've heard mention my theory after I said it first. Did they get Carlos' number out of their massive geofence warrant? There lies the problem with the geofence warrant that Google doesn't like and a lot of people don't like. So, white van possible in the picture here, right? Who drives a white van, delivery van? Carlos. Was his number in a... When the thing about a geofence warrant, when they do that circumference, everybody in there now, your number's in that warrant, and they can look at each and every single one of you. But to what extent without further probable cause warrants? That's the problem with geofence warrant. I don't really have a problem with them if they're going to catch a bad guy. Delphi says they're no good, but Delphi doesn't think anything's good. So whatever. But that's what I'm wondering is because, and I say that because the night I listened to the audio, the phone is pinging in the car. What phone? Carlos' phone? Because y'all knew about Carlos the night before you arrested him. You were following him. But we'll get into that later because enough about him. And furthermore, they took all his devices and stuff. If there's anything, and they let him go that night, they did probably a prelim download. But once they went through everything, if there was anything there, Carlos would be back in custody, right? Yeah, Carlos said the van was tore up. It's just... It doesn't matter. It didn't break down until after the crime. So if his van was in the area doing his job delivering, and he showed up over there on somebody's camera, and he showed up in the geofence warrant, did somebody also call and tip them off? They're like, well, you know what? Who knows? Who knows? My problem is the internet getting shit twisted and trying to get all of us to jump on the bandwagon. Yes, Joy, Friday the 13th. My God. I thought about that last night. I was like, for real. But people like me, it's not. This is probably like a good day. Just don't walk under ladders and shit. And black cats can probably be your friend. They're here to tell you a whole lot of things if you just listen. That one day I saw 7 in one damn day. My niece was with me. We had a lot of errands to do this day. Everywhere we went, there was a black cat crossing in front of us. She's like, oh my God, the black cat is something bad. I'm like, no, 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 no. He's trying to tell me something. I'm being warned and I should listen. So y'all take it how you want. If y'all are superstitious, don't be doing the crazy shit out there today. Be super careful. It's not a full moon on top of that, is it? All right, guys, we're hearing a bunch of crazy reports that were coming out yesterday. The biggest of all, I think, was the fact that there's a glove in Nancy's house. And I don't know, was there one glove or two? Because I know somebody found a glove on the side of the road, and we saw the sheriff's department picking the glove up and putting it into evidence. We've also heard there was a pair of gloves found. Where? Have any of y'all seen footage or a specific area of all the media reports out there? Have any of you seen where they think this extra pair of gloves was found? Was there 2 gloves in Nancy's house? Then I got to ask myself, why would the assailant unglove in the house? What would make him do that? Maybe he couldn't get the zip ties on Miss Nancy because his little puppy ass gloves were in the way. Maybe. But I got to figure out why. And you can call him a dumb crook all you want. Apparently, they're not that damn stupid because they hadn't been caught yet. So can we really take a pause and breathe for a moment? Stupid criminal, look at him. Well, he's so stupid he hasn't been caught yet. Why take off your gloves inside Nancy's house? I'm not saying the glove's not in the house, but I like to figure out, why would the perpetrator take the gloves off once they're in the house? Makes no sense unless they're in the way. Now, before I go into what I'm about to go into, I want to remind everybody about a little old knife sheath out of Idaho. Idaho, very small town department, not a lot of experience in homicides. One of the first things Idaho did was call in the FBI for assistance. But guess who did not test that sheath for DNA? The FBI. And why these talking heads want to come out and work up their audiences and act like they have never covered true crime before in their life is really got to me yesterday. We can pick apart the bullshit this sheriff is doing, but we can also take a minute and go, wait. Protocol, people. Normally, you send your shit to your state lab. A lot of these local sheriff's departments all contract out to other DNA labs. It's not unusual, and I don't know why they're not telling us that. Nancy Grace, a couple of y'all I saw yesterday running your damn mouths, like, blah, 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 blah. Stop it, because you damn well know better. And when the minute they said it was sent to a Florida lab, I knew which Florida lab it was. And let me tell you what, they're not a bad lab. They will get the job done. The only thing the lab is in charge of doing is pulling DNA profiles off the evidence. Now, when they found that sheath next to Madison Mogen, the state of Idaho developed that profile. Then they sent it to Othram in Texas. Everybody's like, they couldn't have found the DNA lab closer to Arizona. I don't fucking know. But what I do know is that knife sheath went to Othram Labs, not to develop a DNA profile that was already developed by the state DNA lab. It goes to Othram for one purpose: front door IgG. And their work had to stop with the two cousins. The FBI's like, let us have it, boys. We got this. And there you go. Now, there's conflicting reports about this damn DNA shit. It is normal protocol. And here, also remember this: the sheriff did not call the FBI in. We're hearing that they reached out to him day February 2nd. They found that glove that night. That glove should have already been sent off to their testing facility lab they have contracts with before the FBI got there. FBI doesn't normally build the profile, but they will damn sure run that IgG for you. So I don't know why. And even Brian Enton's reporting is conflicting. There are other people now. The sheriff is, I don't give a shit what that sheriff is backtracking on now. He wants to say there's no real conflict. It was a mutual agreement. Normally, they do send all DNA to the same lab. You don't want that shit sparsed out all over the place. Defense attorneys have a field day with that. So you need it to go to all one lab. Now, the blood from the front porch went to the Phoenix lab to rush testing on that blood. Came back as Nancy's. Now, that was a sample taken from the crime scene. This extra evidence they're gathering has to go to other labs. So I'm not going to make a big damn deal about that sheriff sending that DNA to a lab. Not until the FBI comes out here and gets on a camera and says, we wanted it, and he said no. Because I don't know who these FBI sources are that are talking, but they're talking to a lot of people right now, apparently. And the sheriff is still giving interviews to a local reporter there. Now, she doesn't buy everything he's telling her, but I just don't get why I saw so many shows. No, I'll take that back. I probably saw a few, because I was just like, the minute I start to watch and listen to their analysis, I'm like, holy fuck, are you kidding me? Y'all are not being honest with the public. You're making this a bigger deal than it's supposed to be. Until they come out and tell me it's a bigger deal than I think it is, then I'm going to have to shelf that for a minute. All I want is there DNA from the gloves inside? I don't even know if that glove outside is relevant yet, because let me remind y'all, Chris McDonough from the interview room found a black glove outside of the King Road house days after the crime. Cops don't normally wear a black glove. Now, I don't know, it was irrelevant to the case. So is this a random black glove on the side of the road, or did the perpetrator take his gloves off and toss them out windows? Or the other perpetrator. One leaves his gloves in the house. One decides it's okay to throw shit out the car window. But they haven't been caught yet. Exactly, Rachel. The glove that was found inside the house should have already been gone for testing by the time the FBI rolled into town. Now, what they do want, more than likely, is that profile, right? Because they're the ones that can do the IgG. They even said that in the press conference. States normally do all the DNA testing. But when asked about that DNA, what did the FBI guy say? If we're needed. If we're needed. Now, if he got a problem with the sheriff, he should have said it right then and there. I'm not going to roll into town and fix their stupid politics. And I'm tired of everybody saying, oh, this is they're just arguing, they're fighting, they're blah, 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 blah. The American citizens deserve better. I'm not going to tolerate all this, just some, egos. I heard a room full of cops talk about that last night, trying to explain how sometimes when the FBI is around and they start tweeting out evidence before giving it to us, can we stop it? Y'all figure it out. It's not up to us to figure out the inner workings between local police and the damn FBI. Y'all are the professionals. Get your egos out of the picture. Idaho didn't have an ego problem when they asked the FBI to come help them solve Brian Koberger's case. WSU certainly wasn't helping, they were hindering. So I don't get some of the things people blow up about totally distracts from what's really happening. Because I've been seeking out evidence, investigative techniques, what they're looking for. And if you listen, you'll figure it out. We've got some reports about what the neighbors are being asked when they're approached at their doors. That's what I want to know. Y'all figure out the DNA lab situation, boys. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out your investigative techniques and what you're asking for, because that tells me a lot, right? Tells us a lot. Welcome in, Teresia and Hawkeyes. I appreciate you guys coming in. Or y'all are seeing the reports about this DNA apparent issue. What are y'all's thoughts? Did y'all automatically know all states send their stuff to private labs? Or did you think that the FBI always gets to develop the DNA? Do we got DNA on here? Quantico lab. And there's reports about we don't know who's in charge. Well, at the end of the day, y'all have a meeting room where you're all sitting down and sharing notes. It's obvious the sheriff's in charge, it's his town, but we also know the FBI is in charge of all the collection of the. Well, here's the thing. It feels like when the FBI finally got into town, they have had to backtrack and go back over everything that sheriff did and did not do. Now, so I feel like a lot of what we were seeing over the past week was just them doing that. Sheriff, did you know, because he turned over that crime scene real quick, like released it, right? And then it was by that time it was a done deal. So when the FBI was back out there all week, they weren't, if they saw evidence, of course they're going to collect it, but they weren't out there looking for dropped evidence, a random glove, a piece of clothing. They were looking for something specific. And why would they be looking for a phone? And why is a Karen walking up into Miss Nancy's yard after a security guard, police guard, whatever the hell he is already on the property, after the Pizzagate incident, everybody coming to put flowers down? We have a lady walk up in the yard and scold a cop and then let her dog piss near the memorial. So I got a little over society yesterday and human nature as a whole. I just cannot with this shit. Why put the cop out there if you're going to allow delivery drivers, pizza delivery, and random Karens to walk up in the yard with their fucking dog? Evidence is destroyed at that house. I also heard a talking head last night. Well, maybe the tent went up because they're looking for footprints on the porch. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how many footprints are on the porch now, including Enton's and Mike's? Why is a tent going up? Is it going to rain? And I'm sitting here, little old me, armchair detective, going, what? Y'all can't be serious. And y'all are supposed to know a whole hell of a lot more than me. And you are puzzled as to why this tent's going up. Oh, they're going to retest the blood. The blood we know about. Why do they got to hide themselves swabbing the porch again? That's not what they were there for either. Jesus. All right. So we now know what they were doing there. The minute the tent went up around the front porch, it was obvious to me what was about to happen inside of there. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, so I almost lost my train of thought. Hold on. Where was I? Um, The fuck, I just lost my train of thought completely. What? Right, Rachel, they given defense attorneys ammo. But they, so when you got the pissing dog, you got the pizza deliveries, this crime scene's a wreck at this point. We're not going to collect any more valuable, usable DNA or anything like that. So when I started watching some of the reports from what was being asked of the neighbors when they go door to door, right? That's what I want to know. What specifically are they asking them about, other than outdoor cameras, seeing any suspicious activity, things of that nature? Why are we looking for a truck? We also have a video of a lady that spoke to JLR who was on the phone with another lady, and they were going on and on about how the schools support and the people at the schools support Tom. You know, it's just gotten to the point where Banfield's got her sources, Enton's going to have his, Mike's got his. Everybody has a source. We have to take all this sourced information and really think about it. Because the second they're all trying to tell me it makes no sense it didn't go to Quantico, well, fuck, the sheath didn't go to Quantico, people. In this particular lab in Florida, if you go to look at all of the stuff they can do and have done, it's like they're purposely, for clicks and views, in my opinion, want to put out a headline and then go rant and rave about it when they know the truth. And they just won't come out and explain it because we're already mad at the sheriff, so let's just be mad some more. Rachel, apparently a white truck is of interest, not official word, but yes, there is a white truck, white van. Can they even tell what color it is from these ring cams, nest cams on the front door when somebody's passing by? Now, we've all heard how dark it is out there. That's great, because all you're going to get is car lights, headlights, or maybe a car without the headlights. Now, I caught an interesting piece a day or two ago that I wanted to figure out more about. The traffic cameras in the area. Because we got to figure out, what are they looking at to try to pull evidence from to get a lead on this suspect at the front door. You got to get into the neighborhood, you got to get out, you got to get there by highway somehow, unless you're droning yourself in, or you can portal in, whichever. But these cameras don't record. If you got license plate reader cameras, they're only to capture the back plate, and Arizona is like Florida, rear plates only. Good Lord, I heard enough discussion about that in Idaho. Everybody had their take on it without actually going and researching it, right? Florida does not require you to have anything but a rear plate. I'd seen cars come through town with a front and rear. I'm like, what the hell's up with that? But it's a thing in some states, not in Arizona. So these red light license plate readers are going to capture a rear plate, but they won't see a front plate unless they're from out of state, right? And they happen to have it. Even the flock cams don't record. And then the problem is, when they do record, how long do they retain those recordings before they're overwritten and recorded over? I got a little more information about that. These cameras around here, I don't know what they're going to be able to tell them. Now, we also have reports now that the sheriff has hit the neighborhood up again with, we need more ring cam footage, we need more nest footage, we need. Now, they've bumped the timeline on what they're wanting to review. First, they went back to, what was it, January 11th? That was a specific date, or was it? Because now you've backed it up to January 1st, which makes sense, because if a person was, planning to commit a crime, driving my route in and out, making sure I got it down pat, making sure I know this house, are they creeping by in the daytime, coming by at night? There's planning involved, because I don't care. Look, Miss Nancy's not in that house. A random robbery will not take the whole victim. He had a fucking mask on. What's she gonna see? Zip tie her, rob her, and leave. Somebody went to that house with the purpose to take Miss Nancy. Now, go back to why the FBI can't figure out who's sending those ransom letters, the originals, to TMZ and to the local media. Now, TMZ's come out again. We've received more. Maybe you have. People are out there saying, are you sure? Are y'all sending them to yourselves? If Harvey wants to be that messy, he'll get caught. Let him have at it. Somebody is sending the man emails. But you damn well know he says he's turned him over to the police. When will we see that guy be arrested? Remember Cali guy texting Tommaso and Annie, have you made a payment yet? They got him. Hell, he went to court the other day, and guess what? He walks out of the federal courthouse all by his lonesome. He didn't have a lawyer with him. He didn't have a girl with him. He didn't have a mama with him. He walked out all by himself. So, how long before the FBI catches this other person sending TMZ letters? If they can't find that person in the next day or two, they're absolutely tied to the original kidnapping, and they too are hiding themselves incredibly well. The guy at the front porch is a hired fucking gun. He's not the mastermind. Nothing's missing but the person, Riley. So I don't know why everybody wants to act like it was a robbery gone bad. Because we got some proud. Let me tell you what, that area can't be that damn safe. Because all of a sudden there's ring cameras popping up everywhere with random weirdos walking around in the middle of the night. And I think if everybody would actually, after Idaho happened, oh God, we had to hear about every fucking crime that happened in the town for 3 months solid. Hell, that's the real killer, right? You got to be super careful. And here's the thing about these real time cases, and I'm going to call them real time cases. I went through this with Idaho 4. They happen in real time. We can see everything going down in real time. We're getting, social media, mass media, we're just everywhere. It ain't like the old days. We get your 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news report and you're done. We see everything in real time unfolding, and y'all have seen that all week long. We have to take everything we're seeing with a grain of salt and evaluate it independently, each piece. Now, I could have come live last night and just that fucking sheriff sent it to a lab and went, but I know better. If that lab cannot develop a profile, they're going to send it to Quantico. They're going to be like, look, boys, we're lost on this one. And those touch DNA skin cells, people who ran that shit in the ground during Idaho, talking about it's just touch DNA. Boy, y'all are all over that DNA in that glove right now. Skin cells and touch DNA is your new jam. And what about the ones who want to hijack this case to make their points about their cases that they love? Now we're going to tweet out bad shit about the FBI. But y'all damn sure wanted them in your case, and then they weren't, and you were mad about it. And now we're pointing fingers at stop it. That's messy. It's, do you know where you stand in your own convictions? Do you flip-flop? You wake up one day and you feel this way, tomorrow you're going to feel that way. We're all going to change our minds and evolve. But I'm blown away at some of this stuff. I am just literally blown away. I understand everybody's frustration with this sheriff. Sit all the way down, right? We're done with you. Well, we know now that you got a beef with the FBI. It's been going back for a lot longer than any of us knew. I'm going to leave you boys to it. But they need to get it together. Hold on again. My sister just brought me a plate of food. She made me some tomato gravy. I just thought I'm going to brag about that because it smells really good. I don't make it, but she makes it like Granny. So I'm going to eat it in a minute. There was a woman by him. Who, Riley? The assailant? Where did you see a woman beside him? Yeah, it has a lot of crime, Riley. I mean, a lot of places do, though. I don't know why America's like suddenly. Go look at your own areas, right? I know where the high crime areas are in my town. I've been here my entire life. Crime obviously happens all across the country all day, every day. What do we do all day? We talk about crimes. So that area, a few, like a mile from Annie's house, is apparently a bunch of homeless people. I mean, I'm not ready to say a random off the street took Miss Nancy, because that random probably would have gotten caught by now. He would have made critical mistakes. Or did the sheriff make critical mistakes? Finding the glove inside the house should have been, if it was really there, you should have found it, right? The guy leaving court. Well, the video I watched, he may have walked out the door with somebody, which is probably his lawyer, but she went her way and he walked all the way across that damn courtyard all by himself. I saw it. But I'm sure that was just his lawyer, right? Did I listen to what the sheriff said about yeah, I did. I mean, what he's disputing the reporting. We're not at odds with the FBI. They knew I was sending it, right? He says they knew he was sending it. They need to come out and clarify, because then people would not be twisted all day and emotional about it. Like, the DNA got sent to a private lab to develop to see if we even have DNA on it. Once that profile is developed, anybody can take a look at it at that point. I mean, in Nancy's immediate neighborhood, there probably wasn't a lot of crime for the neighbors to say things like that. But right outside the area, yes. Like, I can't, I'm not going to sit in a space anymore where I think that guy on Nancy's front porch is just a random crook from town. I, Ruth Ann, I'm not taking anything the sheriff says. Like, look, we're done with that sheriff. I just know protocol because I cover true crime and I know how it's played out in other cases. Why wouldn't we have the same protocol here? So I don't, people need to, that's a distraction. To sit here and talk about it for an hour about this DNA lab fiasco is distracting. Yes, that's what I said earlier, Happy. All of it apparently went to the same lab. You don't want it going to multiple labs all over the country. The damn FBI guy stood right there and said the sheriff is handling the DNA, but if we're needed to run that IgG, we're here. So as soon as y'all get your profile, sheriff, let us have it. So yeah, anybody who still considers that was a random guy at her door that just happened to show up and found the right house and got in and took her because shit went wrong, I don't know. Watch a little more true crime. I don't know. I don't know. Now, I need to go through my notes. Now, the FBI is saying they are receiving about 13,000 tips. Because of Carlos, do we want them to shelf all those tips and not look into them in case they're not the real killer or kidnapper? We don't want to put them out there for certain creators to hold up as if they're like the poster child now for the big bad FBI. 13,000 tips. I expect them to check those tips. And they got a whole team in place that evaluates those tips and the validity of those tips. Now, is it a perfect system? Probably not. They have a system that they all go into, and they have a team of trained people whose job it is to filter through all the tips, right? Y'all know how many tips came in on the Koberger case that were fucking nowhere, that absolutely meant nothing? Let's not forget the 30 plus tips that one lady kept calling the FBI with, and then the document says the FBI has a history on her for her calling and giving tips. She's a crazy lady, right? We got enough crazies out there. But they need to check out all these tips. If not, we can't get nowhere. Rachel, think about that for a moment. Targeted, but we don't know why. Somebody got a beef with Savannah. I'll get you back. Somebody got a beef with Annie or Tom. If Tom's not the guy, I'll get you back. I'm taking your mama. Or does it make sense to take her for money? And let me go ahead and say, did Miss Nancy have her medication with her? If you're about to kidnap somebody for ransom, do you want them to die in the process? It took 40 minutes around that house. Did it take 40 minutes to break in? Take 40 minutes to destroy 2 cameras, front door, back door, and make way into that house? What happened during that time? Were we preparing our victim to leave her home? The sheriff just says she needs her meds, she needs her meds. But did he ever say those meds were not there? Or did he say they were accounted for? Did he ever say it all? Because why would Jose's search warrant say, look for medical devices and medications? Or do they have my theory? They could have got the meds off the black market once they got Miss Nancy, but I think I'd have just took her meds with me. Like, ma'am, do you need anything life-saving? Because I need you to be alive when I get my money. Did something go terribly wrong that shouldn't have went wrong? And this is why they haven't heard any more from the original kidnappers. We want proof of life. That proof of life never came that we know of. And the FBI still has not arrested the people who sent the original. You don't think they're not looking for them? We got Cali Guy for texting people. Y'all think they're still not looking for the people who sent those original ransom letters? And what was up with that little bit of money that got deposited into the account? I think people need to slow down. I don't know why the person would have taken Miss Nancy other than money. Yes, there are very vindictive people, but if I wanted to get back at Savannah because she pissed me off at work, I might can come up with a better thing to sabotage her career or something rather than going down there and taking her mama to teach her a lesson. Y'all think Tom did it because he's pissed at Annie? Or was Nancy the kind of mother-in-law that really got under his skin? I'm going to fix her once and for all. I'll just take her. None of that makes sense to me, right? I still have not seen anything that says they're looking at Tom like that. I don't know what the hell to even make of it. Now, I do know this. By the time Ashley got that source who said that, if all of us think that Tom wasn't looked at in the very beginning, what are we doing? You're the last one to see her. You're the one to go to her house to see if she's okay. We need to know everything about you now, right? They got his phone. They took Annie's car. They never put up crime scene tape at Annie's house. But by God, they went there and did their due diligence, didn't they? Because we know the sheriff never went into Annie's house. Sheriff's department never went into Annie's house and took one thing because they would have put crime scene tape up. The only ones back in there was the FBI. Were they trying to rule out Annie and Tom? You have to do that. Can you clear them 1,000%? Maybe not to the end of the case. Idaho never cleared up suspicion on other people even after they got Koberger, okay? And look where we are in that case. People still think that guy's innocent. A lot of times because they don't come out and clarify shit. And that's on them, not us. That's why we have to get smarter at what we're hearing. I can't take everything. If I'm not going to take Ashley Banfield's sources 1,000% to the bank, why would I take Enton's? Because I'm here to tell you, I don't see them different. I don't see one holding more weight than the other. I don't. Hell, I've been watching Ashley Banfield before Brian might have even been born by the time I was watching her. I don't know how that dude is. Just take all their sources with a big old grain of salt. Rachel, you'd think they'd make sure she would have necessities. Ma'am, do you know? I mean, you got an 84-year-old victim. I don't know how long they studied it before they got in there. Was there an inside person that helped them? I don't know, right? To say, hey, she's going to need her meds. She's got this, she's got that. Who knows? They might have done that once they got in there. But your goal is to keep the person alive if you're seeking money. But they did not ask for any more money. We got a guy saying, I know who the kidnapper is. I'm more concerned with the FBI finding him today instead of this people want me to get all worked up over a DNA lab. Can y'all talk about the people sending these letters and where they are? Because if there's a guy out there claiming, absolutely, I know who the kidnapper is, but I need this Bitcoin so I can lay low, buddy, I need to talk to you right now. So you can lay low. Criminal network going on here? Smart dudes. I don't know. No, I don't know what to make of that. Now, TMZ also was reporting that investigators apparently think, and I saw this like, I don't know, it's been in the past 24 hours. I looked immediately, and I don't know if I'm seeing it or not. That fucking black and white damn video. So TMZ is reporting that backpack was an Ozark Trail hiker pack, that came from Walmart. FBI hasn't confirmed that it came from Walmart. I think it could have come from a lot of different places. How do we know? Was it exclusively sold at Walmart, right? I don't know. But how can they track the backpack without knowing who the person is with the backpack on them? To go back and get like video footage of them purchasing it. Uh, they weren't able to go back and pull video of Koberger inside these stores that we saw until they looked at his financials and saw, oh, he was here, here, and here. Let's go pull video from here, here, and here. And boom, there he is. Damn, plain as day. That's him. They didn't get lucky and just go canvas a 1,000-mile radius and found all the footage. No, 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 no. They used other data to figure out where these cameras might be that see him and all his movements walking up into the store and shit. The backpack could have been purchased a long time ago, Teresa. It doesn't mean he bought it the day before, does it? He could have bought it 2 months before. Also, why have the reflectors? Does our guy ride a motorcycle? Not reflectors, but whatever. I guess that was little reflective straps on the straps of the damn backpack or whatever. It appeared to have a reflective coating on the whole backpack, but that was just the way the camera does its thing. Why would you buy a backpack with that? My kid don't have a backpack with those on him. He doesn't walk to school and doesn't ride a motorcycle. So would you seek out a back? He's never said, Mom, I want a backpack with reflectors. That like draws attention. I don't know why the guy wore that one that night. Maybe it was already the one he had. Did he ride a motorcycle? Not up to the crime scene, duh. But in real life at home, does he drive a motorcycle? It could have been purchased any time. Yeah, Riley, what's up with it? Here's another thing too. So we are hearing reports now that video that we see was at 212. Remember when we first got the reports that At 1:47, doorbell camera disconnects. It claimed it was the front door cam. 12, motion detected. But now Harvey Levin is reporting that video timestamp is 2:12. So 1:42, what happened to that? Was that really the backdoor cam that went first? And I'm going to stop second guessing myself because I did that way too much in Idaho. My first thought usually is usually the best one. And I want to review that video again in a minute. And I want to ask y'all something about it, get your take on it. Now, we got some things we can review as well. Also, let me do this. Let me show this one thing first. Because this shit is like the people that are coming out and talking and all these reporters talking to the people. Let me get it, I can pull it up here. And it sounds like they're willing to talk, a lot of them, but then I don't know what to make of it. I'll let you guys decide. I mean, they got the right to talk. I mean, it's their neighborhood. I don't want to shut nobody down. But, okay, where's she at? Let me find it. Jen's Twitter. Here we go. I don't know how many of you have seen this. I don't know how many of y'all are watching JLR's live stream. I can only hang out for a few minutes. Okay. This lady is on the phone with her friend, and apparently, so Jen reposted this, but it was JLR talked to this lady. Okay.
Hey, so I'm here with these reporters. One of the news reporters of JLR is asking me if Tommaso is still teaching at basis or did he take some time off? No, you're not being coded. No one's giving your name. No one's giving your name. Okay, she's not sure.
She's not sure.
She's not sure if he's. Yeah, she said she's not sure if he's
But
taking
everyone
time
there
off
supporting
or if he's
him?
still there. Yeah, she's not sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is she a teacher there or something?
No, she has. My friend. I'm not going to say her name, but she has some kids that go there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard you saying everyone there is like supporting him.
Yeah. Everyone says he was a great guy. That's what I said. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone. My friend said 100% of the parents are supporting him.
Parents?
All, he's
all
like,
the parents are supporting him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all said he's amazing.
What's he teach there?
What subject?
Yeah, what subject? Like, was it biology or something?
Yeah, he's just one of the teachers. My friend, who I'm not giving her name, she's a woman that lives here. I'm not going to say her profession or anything about my friend, but she just said he's a teacher at basis. That's all I know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So that was just a lady talking about Tom when JLR was asking her questions. She wasn't going to tell her friend's name. Her friend's like, "You can tell my name, are you?" But I don't know. Does the community feel that know these people, right? We don't know Annie and Tom. These people do. I don't know. But then again, we all know people can be fooled all the time, right? So I don't know what to make of Tom yet until they make an arrest or give me some more information. All right, Riley, according to the press conference that we got, when they gave the timeline out, a more detailed timeline, that's what we were told. At 1:47, camera goes offline or disconnects. They did not elaborate how, from the Wi-Fi, from an app. I don't know. I'm assuming what they meant by that was it got smashed. That's what that meant. That's what time the camera got smashed. Because Mike Ruiz, we've seen the picture of the blood on the front porch, and we all saw the little shrubbery debris. But what I couldn't tell from those pictures, and I looked all week long, do I see glass fragments? Well, especially after we realized the camera was gone, and then Ashley was reporting it was smashed. I'm like, where's the glass? Because I can't say the cops picked it all up because they didn't even pick up the brush, kind of like the sticks in Delphi. We don't need that shit. They didn't pick up that, and we all know, right? So I think it's when the cameras got smashed. I don't know if there was somebody who went around back at the same time as the guy at the front. Because remember the one picture that we see where he's coming from. Let me see if I still have it uploaded. I don't think I took all those off of here yet because I wasn't. This one. The way he's standing, he come up from the right side. Because when we see the video, that other guy, this guy, if they're the same damn guy, whatever, he's coming in from as if he's coming from this side. Now, this guy could just be standing there at a stance. What is he looking at? Who's he looking at? Is he staring at the camera, going, what am I going to do? Or is he coming from around behind the house? I have no idea. Riley, the casing that holds the camera might be plastic, but the lens is going to be glass. Maybe he means plastic fragments. We're getting tons of reports from these boots on the ground reporters, so I can only report back to y'all what they say. His Twitter post says glass fragments, but you can't see it really well in the picture. It's hard to tell if that's little pieces of debris laying there from the shrubbery, or is it fragments from a bus, because the minute they said smashed camera, I'm looking on the ground for the evidence of a smashed camera, because I can't guarantee these cops picked up every last piece of it. It's hard for me to tell in them photos, but that's what's being reported over on Mike's Twitter page as of yesterday. Now, a lot of us feel like maybe there was two people, maybe three, but was another person sitting in the car and this was the lone wolf at the door situation, or the other person come up after he gained entry? Who knows? FBI's not coming out and explaining where this guy's gun and backpack are. Now, I've heard, oh, maybe he hid it in the bushes until he got prepared. Prepared for what? Exactly. He didn't want the camera to see his gun, but he doesn't mind it seeing his mask and gloves. Give me a break. I don't know how to explain what's happening in that picture. But the weird theories about he's hiding it in the bushes, so that means he walked all the way to Nancy's house, stashed his shit in the shrubs, went and focused on the cameras. Oh, they really do have cameras. Let me go back and get my gun and backpack now, and then come back and try to take the camera off. Let me go show them I got that on me now. It makes no sense. Right? I'm not going to say this guy sat his gun and backpack in the shrubs where we can't see it to go check. He's not concerned about hiding the backpack and gun. Riley, we've heard the cameras inside were smashed. We've also heard from the same report that they were all smashed, inside and out. And Ashley Banfield's reported that. Outside cameras smashed, inside cameras. We don't even know if they got inside cameras. The sheriff is all crazy. FBI knows. Kind of like when they showed up with their tent. And everybody's like, what are they doing? Looking for footprints. It's going to rain. Test the blood. Jesus Christ. It was obvious they were about to go in there and recreate what happened at the damn door. And then lo and behold, they get out of their vehicles with the exact equipment to go right up in there and do that. And what happened a little while later? Boom, we got a description now. Well, we got a hype description. Because they didn't want us to see what they were doing and the technique they used to do it. I've been clocked in on the FBI for decades. They fucking intrigue the shit out of me. Their capabilities, what they can collect on the American people, how they're able to get in to do things, right? They are capable of things we don't want to know about. And when we find out what they are capable of, are we going to be sitting well with it? Long as you don't come after me, FBI, you go get the bad guys. I hope they get every one of them. Are they perfect? No. Do I have questions sometimes about the inner workings? Yeah, but come on. Let's go back to the FBI inception, like I have done, and study them. And that stuff intrigues me. Like everybody's like learning people. I was amazed at how many people didn't understand the FBI in the Idaho 4 case. I feel like a lone wolf out here sometimes. Yeah, Asha, I heard a journalist that I respect say, "Oh, my one of my first thoughts was it going to rain? Were we scared it was going to wash away the blood they left there for a week?" Jesus Christ. We are only seeing bits of the video, Tricia. That's a given. That's a given in any case. Look how long it's took us to see all the footage of Koberger driving all over Idaho towards his victims. We're never going to see all of it until this is over. If they release it, there's obviously more. And Cash Patel wants to come out and say there's multiple suspects or persons of interest. How do you know that, sir? Did you find extra DNA? Did y'all already run some DNA and you got a couple of extra DNAs from inside that house and nobody can explain? They're not Annie's, they're not Tom's, they're not Nancy's, they're not Savannah's or the hired helps. How do you know multiple people were involved, sir? Did you see them on the inside of Nancy's cameras? And Mike tweeted to somebody, I never noticed outdoor cameras at Nancy's in the beginning. Oh, really? You didn't notice those white cameras on the guest house? So I tweeted that out. Anybody recall seeing these cameras in the beginning? Crickets, as usual. I went back and I have scoured early media reports so I could see for myself when those cameras went on that building and was it the FBI who put them there. Weird to me that not one reporter has reported seeing those cameras before we saw them being taken off the roof. Asha, if those cameras were there when this happened and they worked, that one at the end of the guest house, it overlooks the driveway where Nancy would have come in and entered her garage. I mean, it fucking plain as day. The other one, trained on the whole backyard. It would have seen the assailants trying to break in. But nobody can prove those cameras were there. Why? Did they put them there to take video to do whatever their work is, measurements, different things? I do not know. Now, they want to say there was like, if there was no forced entry, right? We don't see that front door damaged at all. That blue back door, we don't see it damaged at all. I still can't see what kind of door's under the back patio. Is it a sliding door? God, I hope not. I don't know if that's a slider on the back patio. Probably is. But that back door, that blue one, I can see the brick damaged behind. Another thing, when Enton and all of them were walking around and noticed the dangling floodlight, they didn't notice the cameras on the guest house. Really? I mean, think about that for a second. And I can't get one of them to clarify or verify. Y'all didn't look around good enough? You don't recall seeing it? Yeah, the front door has the metal, they're burglar things. That's what they used to call them here in my area. In the 70s, everybody's house had them. It was like a thing, right? You build you a new house, you need your burglar bars. That front door is designed for that purpose. Two sliders, where one in the primary that leads to that little patio, or would the back of the house have two sliders? Where did you can you see them anywhere? I mean, there's been a couple of media that come close to letting me see the shot of that back patio, but they always freaking muck it up, and I can't see it. I feel like saying, dude, walk back over there. Like, why are y'all not getting the key stuff? Right, Jet. It's under the patio. Now, we know that's how Koberger got in, but apparently it got left open. But I just go back to when those things first became a thing in homes, and how long it doesn't take them long to start wearing out, and they don't shut right, they don't lock right, and some you can walk right up to, honest to God, even if they were locked, and pop them hard and they're gonna slide open. My mom never wanted those things in our house. My uncle had them. That's how I know. We used to fuck with his all the time. Oh, there's a way in and a way out. My mom was like, oh hell no. You saw it in one of the drones that you how did it fly low enough to see under the porch? That's interesting. Hey, Rot, thank you for listening in. So, Joy, they start, look. So, another thing, now that you mentioned that, Cash Patel comes out. We got these images immediately and sent them out. No, you did not. I will call you out on the things you should be called out on, but you did not. Because the day before that, you primed us. Savannah primed us. Because you already told her and she knew you had these images. What happened the day before these came out? From the FBI director himself and from Savannah. We need the public's help. We're going to need your help. Why? To identify the masked man at the door. Because you didn't really need everybody before then except ring cams and suspicious stuff, right? But now you need everybody's help. Because we got to ID the guy at the door. And maybe somebody will recognize those eyes if we're lucky. Maybe he'll be the guy once we swab him. Your little fluffy gloves get in the way of zip tying Miss Nancy and you took them off like an idiot. That might have been your only dumbass mistake. Well, you're just the hired gun, so there's not going to be a whole lot of brains in there anyway. You just caught a glimpse of it, Riley. I know I've been looking everywhere trying to see, and as they always, they don't show me that damn thing. I always wonder what do you got? French doors back there, sliding doors. What do we got? Because some of those doors are real easy to get into, right? Even the blue door that we see next to that was next to the floodlights. There wasn't even a window pane broken out of that door. So did somebody have a key? We don't know how this guy got in once he disarmed those cameras. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Which one is it? Let's see. Oh, I got to pull the video up. It's a video. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff today. We got a lot to look at. Because when I first saw this, I mean, like literally when it dropped and we were watching it, and I'm here, and this has happened before when I'm watching videos like this. I'm hearing what everybody's telling me that's happening, but I'm like, is that making sense? And who am I to say they're all wrong? But I don't know. Sometimes my perception of things is way different than others, and I know that. I try to be mindful of that always, because something just did not add up. I heard a couple of experts say, "What's wrong with his hand? He doesn't straighten his hand out." It was like, are you serious? Something's wrong with his hand, like he's deformed and he can't straighten it. His hands were stretched out, and oh my God, I just couldn't. Like some of these evaluations, I'm like, oh my God, no wonder we're in trouble. Now, these were released on the FBI's YouTube page as well. All right. When he picks up the brush, first thing he does is give it a little strength test. Now, for those of you who own a Nest Cam, some are saying they just pop into the bracket. Some say there's two little screws. You gotta unscrew them to get them off. I think it probably depends on the model. This guy needs to get that camera off. And those big thick gloves might be a little in the way.
All right, joining us now live on the.
Sorry, I gotta get that back. Did y'all notice the way he, hang on. Notice the way he grabs it when he does. Look, watch what he's doing. He's
All
bolting
right,
it.
joining us
All right.
now live on the
We're gonna go
phone
to the
is
other
the.
Hang on, dude. We'll get back to you in a minute, Sean. Fuck. We already seen that. All right.
Hey guys, so I'm outside.
Hang on. Let me do it that way. We'll get to you in a minute too, Brian. Don't you worry none. This is why I'm wondering if the next option was to break the camera. Okay. Not that the vegetation didn't cover up the camera lens like he thought it would. I don't think that's what he was doing. Okay. Notice the way his hands are positioned when he's doing this. I noticed it when we watched it the very first time. Both hands are being used, and we're trying to pry that thing behind that camera in its bracket to pull it out. Exactly, Teresia. And I was watching that the very first time we saw it, and I'm thinking that don't make no sense if he's just trying. It's not going to lay on top of the camera, right? It's going to fall. It's no way that's going to hide the camera. That's what everybody was saying. And I just kind of rolled with it when I didn't think it looked like that. I'm going to stop second guessing myself and say exactly what I'm thinking. So if Harvey's reporting this timestamp on this was 212, that can't be a mistake. 147, oh, but this data, the way it was pulled up out of the, deep dark back alleys of the data, it comes up as 212. Give us a fucking break. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain what these people are doing, right? Period. But if you watch it, it's just weird. There's no way he's trying to form that and get it to stick. Maybe he's trying to wedge it in there to stick it over the camera lens, but I don't think that's what he was trying to do. See, he sees it. I mean, he knew it was there. I don't care what anybody's saying. And literally, you can see right here the silver things you see are the deadbolt and the doorknob on the metal door. He's got one hand at the bottom of it, and he's already tried. I think it didn't come out. Wait a minute, why is it not? Okay. I didn't go back far enough. He's got that bottom hand. See, watch that bottom hand. He's trying to pull that bitch out, and it ain't coming. What can I find to cover it up with or try to pull it out of there with? I don't know. I think he's trying to get the camera out. And you can see the doorknob and the deadbolt from the main door there pretty good in that shot. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think he took and destroyed both cameras, front and back. Did he take the whole thing with him? I have no clue. I can't make heads nor tails out of what this sheriff is trying to say to us. Did you not see it, Forrest? I was playing a video. Everybody, did y'all not see it? It's not, hang on, because it was playing on my end. Hold on. Something may have just happened. Hold on, because it's. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on? Hold on. Can y'all hear me? All right. Can y'all hear me at least? All right. I'll try to get it back up. It's just the same video we've been watching of the that the FBI released. Let me get it back up. I hadn't played anything else yet. Okay. I see what y'all see on the camera there. I see there now. It looks like y'all are caught back up with me. All right. Okay. Let me get it back up there again and show you what he's doing with his damn hands. All right. Let me get the screen up. Because I pay attention to every little thing they're doing, not just, oh, there's a man walking up. Good. Enough seen. Ah. I can't. All right. Can y'all see that now? Hang on, let me get my. All right, let me know if y'all can see it. It's different on my phone than it is on my screen in Restream. So I'm going to take a minute and y'all let me know if y'all can see it. Rachel, it's going to make more sense when we see it all, but I'm trying to make sense out of what I am seeing. I'm just trying to make sense out of what I do see.
All right, joining us now live on the phone
this
is
is going to
the
get on my nerves, this fucking video. I should have spliced the two together and made my own. I'm just watching the guy's hands, and what we were told he was doing doesn't appear to be what he was doing to me, in my opinion. But of course, a lot of it's going to make more sense once we get everything. Until then, we are tasked to do it ourselves. And everybody else is trying, so why can't I, right? All right, get out of here with that. What is this? That was the wrong video. Let me get it back up and we'll make sure everybody can see it again. If you just pay attention to his hands, I don't know what the guy's doing. I just don't think he's trying to cover up the camera. Like, that's not his sole goal. I don't know why I can't see my controls unless okay, do it this way. Why does everything want to aggravate me at the same time is beyond me. Okay, let me know if y'all can see this in the chat. Apparently not. All right, now I think it's up for that y'all can see it too. So I'm going to wait for a second and then I'll start it. You can see it? Okay. Yeah, he does kind of sidestep to the camera, but I don't know. Some are saying, well, he didn't know it was there, and then all of a sudden he sees it. I'm not buying that. Then that means I got a stupid crook from local town trying to break into houses. Like the other guy 5 miles away, running around with his double pack backpack situation. I mean, I have to think. This is not going to be the right video. It's the second one. All right, watch his hands, though. Bottom hand and top hand. What's he doing with that bottom hand? He's not reaching for the fucking door. Doorknob. I can see the doorknob. He never reached for the doorknob. He was trying to mess with the camera. Now we're going to see if this brush is strong. Let me look at my partner back here. Yeah, see, I'm getting some shrub. Hang on a minute.
All right, joining us now live on the phone.
I don't know what that was about looking back like that, but I'm just making that part up. But y'all see what I'm seeing, right? He was definitely trying to mess with that camera before he reaches for the brush. Did he decide to just cover it up? Especially if you got one at the back door, how you going to cover that one up too with some brush? No. It's just time to stop with the strange things and acting like we do brains. Sometimes I cannot. I see what I see, and it's just the way it is. Somebody else can see it totally different. We won't know what the guy was actually doing until he talks, but kind of like Koberger, he probably won't. Now, we do know that the FBI has come out now and said what was, let me see here. Where'd my note go? What they said, 5'10", 5'6", or 5'9", 5'10", with an average build. So any guy America, you just described my ex-husband. He has a black 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker pack backpack. I'm assuming the FBI's confirmed that. They have databases filled with items, especially shoes and shoe tread. That's one of their best databases. So they have their ways of finding these things out. Just take an image, put it into the program. Do we have it in the database, kind of thing? They can do that with all kinds of stuff. And if you listen to the names of the agencies being said and the different branches, that's where you learn about the FBI and the capabilities and who's doing what. Instead, we are just listening to talking heads ramble on at the screen and yell, and we're not. I tuned that part out, and I want to hear the stuff being said that matters, right? We all got opinions, and I got my own, and I don't need you to tell me my opinion. Just shush a minute and give me the deets. Or give me a good interview. That's what I'm wanting. Clamoring for a good interview. An intelligent conversation. My God. Now, there's been reports. Let me see. Do I have that video? Let me see if let me look at my playlist. The two backpack guy. All right. Okay, Forrest. No, Riley, the FBI tweeted out the stuff about the backpack. Sheriff don't know shit. He's big mad because the FBI didn't tell him first. They were going to tweet it out. But, dude, you won't even talk to us on a normal tone, so we're not dealing with you. Yes, Joy, they went back in there to recreate some. They don't want us to see their technique. The only reason why that white canvas tent was up, you can't see our techniques. We are the FBI. You don't need to know how we're doing this, but we're doing it. They don't need the crooks to get smarter by knowing the techniques they use to figure them out. So I totally respect the tent going up. I had no problem with that damn tent going up when I saw it go up. They're working, is what that told me. I'm going to throw shade where it's deserved, and I'm going to throw shout outs where it's deserved. And I'm tired of 1,000 people on the internet making a big stink over nothing, or trying to tell me this is a big deal when you're distracting me from the fucking investigation. We already got the weird psyop rumors out there and Nancy's political post out there. I don't care about any of that. Semi Sharp, is he an idiot? He's so fucking stupid he would have got caught by now. That's where I get with these. Brian Koberger was not an idiot. He forgot his sheath on accident because shit got real sideways super fucking fast, and it was go time. Get out of this fucking house. I just killed 4 people instead of 1. There's a difference between a dumb criminal and a mistake. This guy's so stupid, but he ain't been caught yet. He's smarter than Nanos. Now, is he stupid enough to pull his gloves off in the house and leave them? Let's hope so. Again, why do that inside the house? Unless they were in your way of apprehending your kidnapped person. Oh, I'm going to go break into this house all gloved up. Once I'm inside, I'll just take my gloves off. That's a stupid criminal. Did he take them off because he needed to zip tie Miss Nancy and he couldn't do it efficiently? Right? Yeah, Nanos is an idiot, and I can sit here all day long and go ranting and raving about it and let him steal all my energy, but I'm not doing it. He needs to slow down. I'm done with him. I don't want to hear nothing else coming out of his mouth. And furthermore, let's show this. Let's show the biggest mistake. Let's show how stupid these people are and why I'm done with them. I want to see nothing else come from Pima County Sheriff's Department. I don't give a shit who's in charge. I don't want to see it. I'll tell you why. I'll show you why. Okay, so the the Phoenix FBI office did tweet out the backpack, but they're calling it the FBI did it. And they also increased the reward to 100 grand. All right, let me get this. Well, let me click on it first because it won't show unless I do that. Okay. And I'm fully aware y'all are hearing a lot of things out there. And trust me, I'm hearing them too. It's what I choose to do, whatever. All right, so this is from the Sheriff's Department Evidence Submission Portal. The report was filed January 31st, 6 p.m. Nancy wasn't reported missing at 6 p.m., sir. Not unless it's a psyop and you're full of fucking shit and we're all just stupid. Shame on the American public. Report filed 131-2. Now, somebody pointed out on Twitter that up here it says 260201, February 2nd, 2026. Well, what is the 080? Is that just the case number or the number assigned to the report? If that was the actual date of the report, wouldn't it be here? Report filed 6 p.m. No, sir, that's wrong information. Unless you're lying to us. And Savannah is also lying to us. Because if my mama went missing at 6 o'clock on the 31st and it's being told in the media that it was 2 in the morning, now fuck no, I'm coming out guns a-blazing. Report filed 1/31/2026 at 6 p.m. And you're going to let that sit there. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is urgently requesting assistance in locating Nancy Guthrie, who was last seen on the evening of January 31st, 2026, at her residence near East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Ave. If you have any information, please contact the Sheriff's Department. She didn't go missing at 6 p.m. So they're still out here making big mistakes, and they've yet to fix those mistakes. And I think I might have been the only one who said, can you explain why the date and time are wrong? Everybody else wants to repost shit under his post about the DNA stuff. Can you answer why you won't give the DNA to the FBI? Can y'all ask him to answer why he's left that post up there with the wrong date? And get over the damn DNA lab shit a minute? That's why we don't trust him. And that's why I'm done with him. I'm not ready to be done with the FBI yet. I don't care for the talking head leader of the troops. I don't know nothing about that. I've never researched that guy. I have watched people on Twitter for months post about him, tearing him down. I never looked because I didn't care. A lot of what I see is going to be crankiness anyway. Let's be honest. And the same ones who put down the FBI really wanted them to come to Delphi, though. Why would they be so good in one case and suck in all the others, right? Make it make sense. Because we're hijacking shit for our own benefit. It's not about nobody but Miss Nancy. Okay, so I'm gonna play a couple of videos here we can watch together and review. This is one report about what's going on. All right, this is how it all got started. Now remember, Ashley Banfield was ripped to shreds because she come out and said she had a source. Well, guess what? Your boy Brian's doing the same thing. Again, if you already hated Ashley pre-sources, fine. But don't go hating because she said she had a source, because guess what? So does our boy Brian. The politics, what, or the kidnapping is tied to politics, Simi, or the sheriff's bullshit's tied to politics? Because we know that already. There's a big push out there trying to say that this Nancy's disappearance is politically related, but I put down politics the first time Trump was president, and I tried not to look, and I'm still trying not to look, because I can't with that politics shit. And I'll tell you what, right now, if somebody went in that house and took that poor old lady because of their political beliefs, I'm gonna come look for your ass. And I don't care if I say it out loud on a YouTube channel. That's appalling and disgusting, and that is what is wrong with our country. You don't like my politics? Well, I don't like you. I'm gonna murder you. Fucking sit down.
Guthrie's house. A little more information on what I was reporting earlier about the sheriff here in Pima County accused.
And another thing, are we gonna sit back as a society and say, it's all politically motivated, it's okay, and don't demand change?
Of not sharing critical information with the FBI. I just spoke to another source who was telling me that as recently as last night, so I'm making this video on Thursday, as recently as Wednesday night, they are telling me that the Pima County Sheriff's Office did not share critical information with the FBI, information related to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This comes on top of our News Nation reporting that the sheriff's office did not share critical evidence with the FBI, specifically a glove that was found inside Nancy Guthrie's house. The FBI wanted to send the glove to Quantico.
Can you... I'm going to need some more clarification from your source there, sir, because I'm not buying it. I'm nothing against Brian. But, dude, you wondered if the tent was there because of rain. Let me be honest.
To be tested, which is obviously like the best place in the world to test evidence. And instead, the sheriff sent the glove to a lab in Florida. Again, this is a vibe I've been hearing about on the ground here ever since I got here. From people in the know, I'll just leave it at that the FBI should have been called in earlier, and that there is a problem here with the relationship between the Pima County Sheriff and the FBI. And apparently, even as recently as last night, the Pima County Sheriff's Office was not keeping the FBI in the know. So that's the latest.
They're just not sharing. Look, I don't think the sheriff had a damn thing but the glove. Let's be honest. The glove was already sent off by the time the big boys got into town. Other than that, what has this sheriff got? FBI had to come and retrieve the video. Blood on the front porch. Missing lady. Blood in the house with a glove. That's all the sheriff's got. So I don't know what he's not sharing critically with the FBI. Now, what's not being shared is the fact that the sheriff just did a shitty job all the way around with their search. Ground search, physical searching, all of that. Now, we wondered if the FBI had returned all week looking around in the brush everywhere was because they were combing for evidence. That was not an organized grid search for evidence. Did we learn nothing in Karen Reed? That's just a sweep of the area. Why are they looking for a phone?
Out here on everything going on. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. It's getting late, but I'll keep you guys posted.
Go get some rest and get back to that source and come back to me, please. I got more questions than answers. I just don't buy that the FBI is upset that he sent that lab to that the DNA to the Florida lab, especially that Salabi contracts with, when I know the process the biggest piece of evidence in Idaho 4 went through. And guess what? I'm going to say it again. The FBI did not test that sheath for DNA. State lab did. All they got to do is develop the profile, pull the DNA, swab it. Do we even have DNA? And that weak ass touch DNA in Idaho might solve this case the way it did in Idaho. I mean, I had everybody and their brother coming up with the cereal box scenarios. That touch DNA don't mean shit. All of a sudden, touch DNA is everything with this case. See, I don't flip flop like that, and I don't be all wishy washy. I'm not doing it. That's playing right into society's hands and social media's hands, and I will not ever be a part of it. I can only, go by what I believe. The thing about what was in the house, Rachel, is when you process a house where a crime was, do you process the entire house room by room by room by room? Do you swab every piece of furniture, every countertop, or can you only swab where you think they touched? If you're an investigator and you walk into a house where you know a crime was just committed, how do you decide what you test and what you don't? Now, we got that random untested blood in Idaho because it was so far removed from the bedrooms where the people were killed. And it wouldn't even have developed a whole profile. And no matter who develops this DNA profile, here's the thing about that. I don't give a shit who develops it. If the person who owns that DNA is not in the CODIS database, they're not going to know who the fuck it is without IgG. We can develop a profile all day long and twice on Sunday. We may never know who it belongs to, though. And I don't know. People forget what they knew yesterday, and then they come back today, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me feeling some type of way and being fed up. Yeah. You're wondering exactly how much data these cameras hold and that we're unaware of. That's the thing about that with Google. And if you go back to other true crime cases and you unpack documents and read legal documents, you will see exactly how much Google has on you. Google doesn't like to give up that information, though. Hint, Cash Patel, we work with the private sector. There's a whole agency out there designed, thanks to Trump, that works with the private sector now to help solve crimes. First, it was set up to help with terrorism and stuff, right? Because Google ain't going to give up the information without a cold, dead ass heart. I mean, you better come with all the warrants, buddy. And people are going to be amazed at what all they can and do retain on you. The second you end up in a geofence warrant, you're in a group of suspects now and you won't even know it. We discussed all of that in the Koberger case. Sleuthy and I have discussed it on Twitter Spaces in the beginning. Will this set precedence of how not evidence, on what's collected against us? And will it set precedence on what the FBI can do with the information like IgG? That's where our conversation was based. Because we could have easily got lost in the weeds. Because God knows there was some deep-ass weeds all around the Idaho case, right? Tricia, we keep hearing that. Look, I cannot stand that word ego. I can't stand an egotistical motherfucker. Sorry for my language, but I gotta be me. I don't feed egos. And the last thing I will do will turn me off so fast is if I realize I'm around somebody who wants their ego fed, I'm getting as far away from you as I can possibly get, especially if you're a man. as a society, I'm not going to take that excuse anymore. Our egos are in the. I saw a room full of ex-cops men. It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. Fuck, really? 2026, and we got egos in the building, and we got missing people and missing children, and we got to worry about y'all's damn egos being in the way. I'm here to call that shit out. Sit down with it. We're done with it. If the small town department can't get the job done, why not call the big boys in the way Idaho did? They didn't waste any damn time. And if they hadn't come to town, guess who'd be walking around a free man right now? Brian Kohberger. Because there wouldn't have been no DNA evidence against him if he didn't leave his sheath. And WSU's like, oh, fucking what, Elantra? We don't know what you're talking about. That's not your boy. He's ours. Shh. He would have never have gotten caught without IGG. Because when they developed that profile and ran it through CODIS, didn't come back for a match because Kohberger wasn't in the system. Like everybody going on about that damn cell phone data in Idaho. Well, y'all are looking for all the cell phone data here. Go watch Nick Balance from the FBI testify in the Chad Daybell case and be totally amazed the way I was. Well, Love Always, what we're hearing is they didn't call the FBI in. Now, this is the thing. There are a lot of problems with that sheriff. The only one I don't have at the moment is the DNA going to a Florida lab. I don't got a problem with that. That's normal. It's what you do with that profile once you get it, right? But the media is very much pushing this as a big mistake. I can't believe it didn't go to Quantico. I can't believe they didn't. The sheath didn't go to Quantico. God dang. If any fucking piece of evidence deserved to go to Quantico, it was a damn knife sheath next to a victim. Not a random glove in somebody's house that she could have used to clean the toilet with. I don't know. Right? We don't know. But I know they were pushing out a narrative last night that I was floored by. Because I'm like, y'all know better. You damn well know better. That was my problem with them. Nancy Grace, you were one of them, and I could go ahead and name about 5 others. That don't mean I won't ever watch you again, because that ain't who I am. But I'm here to tell you, y'all flat out lied to your public last night, every damn single one of yous, including some cops. But there were a few who were spot on. There were a few who were spot on. Which brings me to an interesting report that I did see, and it wasn't the bullshit from the media. Because I'm seeking out the good stuff. I could sit here and play you 50 videos today with everybody going on and on and on about this DNA and about backpack, double backpack guy and Harvey's letters. Or we can get to the real shit. Let them figure out their mess and get back to us on it. Because Miss Nancy's out there somewhere and y'all better fucking find her. Okay, this was let me get to it. Okay, it was an interesting interview. Okay, let me get this up.
You walk us through what you've seen, because I am dying to hear what it's like on the ground.
I've been out here able to go to all these locations and get my.
Okay, this guy is the host of MK True Crime. Megan Kelly, whatever her name is. They started this channel back for the Idaho 4 case to cover the trial and to unpack that case, and it's moved into other stuff as well. Of course, there was no trial in Idaho. Simi, they're all going on and on and on about how The sheriff refused to give the glove found inside the home to the FBI to send to Quantico to be tested for DNA. That he sent it to a private lab instead. He sent it to a private lab in Deerfield, Florida, where they contract with, where all their DNA will go to for testing. And it was sent before the FBI arrived in town. But they're all going to tell you that they're hiding it from the FBI, didn't tell them about it, won't give it to them, won't let them have it to take to Quantico. Again, they didn't test Brian Kohberger's sheath at Quantico. It was tested at the state lab, then sent to Arthur for genealogical investigation. They had to stop when the front door closed. That's when the FBI picked it up and marched right on in the back door, and now we got you, buddy. Now, this guy, listen to what he says.
Head wrapped around what this investigation looks like, at least from the outside. And what I can tell you is that the investigation it's focusing on two places, right? Obviously the area around Nancy Guthrie's house, which makes sense, but it's also gravitating 4 or 5 miles away over to the area where Annie Guthrie and her husband Tommaso live. And just 2 days ago, I was out there, and maybe it was 3 days ago, and the FBI had been there basically canvassing maybe a quarter mile, half mile radius around that home. And I had the opportunity to speak to some neighbors who had the FBI in their house and in their yard. And look, they told me that one of the things that the FBI seemed to be looking for was a phone. And so, like, if the perpetrator had a phone in his, and I do believe it's a he, in his pocket.
Okay, I don't, so when they spoke to some of the neighbors, right, that were spoke to, they're looking for a phone. Why? What do they know?
Seeing maybe a quarter mile, half mile radius around that home. And I had the opportunity to speak to some neighbors who had the FBI in their house and in their yard. And look, they told me that one of the things that the FBI seemed to be looking for was a phone. And so, like, if the perpetrator had a phone in his, and I do believe it's a he, in his pocket or on his person, that would explain why we now see.
I am fully aware, y'all, that that is a media report only. Let's just go ahead and stress this. Glove found inside Nancy's home is a media report, not an official report, because we're not going to get them. We're not going to get them. But by God, maybe it's time we demand it as a society. Stand up and demand an answer. You could have come out and clarified the church situation and shut the damn social media down with their bullshit, but you didn't do it. That's your fault, not mine.
The law enforcement going back and maybe following whatever digital breadcrumbs were left behind by that phone, going up and down certain roads, looking on the sides of roadways.
So, Rachel, that's what I'm trying to figure out. We know they geofenced it. Was there a phone number they honed in on that was really close to Nancy's property? And then some point that phone goes offline mysteriously. What? Are they just grasping at straws, phones, gloves, clothing, anything that you've seen? But while we're out looking around all this brush near these homes, acting like we're just searching for something specific. Why? Because you're not doing a grid search. Come on with that shit. Don't tell me they're out there searching for Nancy. They weren't doing a grid search. Because if y'all did that fucking Karen Reed shit, we're done.
To find, like, they found some gloves yesterday just right behind me over here about 300 yards away.
Oh,
and
wow.
So, so they, it remains to be seen if those gloves are part of the case or if it's just some random trash. But nevertheless, they seem to be searching these areas with a purpose. It was not accidental.
Well, I know we've got some video that you actually took.
Rachel, the only reporter that I know of that cop is talking to is the local media news desk anchor, and I'm watching her Twitter feed. So if he's talking to anybody, that's where you saw that at. When y'all see things like that, grab it and link it. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. And I may not go off on it about it on a live, but that's the kind of stuff I want to see. because I'm clocking this sheriff and I'm done with him. I'm kind of done with all of them right now. Hold a press conference and clear up what you do and don't have. Y'all failed to do. That's the one thing about Idaho they did not do. FBI doesn't care about our messiness out here. They, honest to God, do not care. The messier it is out here, for that's the better it is for them. But the sheriff could absolutely come out and clarify a lot. He just don't want y'all to look at him like he's stupid now. I'm not gonna go out there and tweet. You're not giving any one-on-one interviews. By God, you'll talk to your local reporter and you'll share with her, we're not fighting with the FBI. We didn't find a glove. What kind of relationship do you have with the sheriff, ma'am?
Early morning about the search. I want to play that, and then I want to go through the scene a little bit more, because I like to really.
Well, let me tell you something about it first.
Okay,
So
yeah, tell me.
What this is about is, so last night, I think it was around 2:15 a.m. local time here in Tucson, about 4:15 Eastern. The sheriff.
I'm seeing it, guys. I'm telling y'all, it's Mary Coleman on Twitter. Let me just go see if what she's tweeting out now. Let's go see what Mary's tweeting. The sheriff can tell me what he wants to tell me all damn day and twice on Sunday. Am I going to believe him at this point? You can't even get the date wrong on the date. Look, the evidence portal where you submit evidence has the wrong time that Nancy went missing. And we're going to believe what this sheriff is saying. Okay. Let me go. Are y'all seeing it on Twitter? I don't like just to be told something's going down. I got to go see with my own fucking eyes. That's the way I roll. Where's she at? What's her name? Mary Coleman. I need to get the whole context of what's going on, because that's the problem we don't do. I can hear 1,000 things, and when I go look for myself, I get a very different take. Now, if this sheriff is out here popping off about shit, then it's time to come out and say something to the entire nation and not Mary. Now, the last thing she posted was 16 hours ago when she said, I just spoke with the sheriff and asked him about this article from Routers, because that's where that original report came from, was Routers. Okay, everybody else picked it up from Routers, in case y'all didn't know that. He tells me there has been no evidence blocked in this case, but says the department did want all the evidence submitted to the same lab versus multiple labs. He says in a meeting with the FBI today, one of the agents said, we do not want the media to divide us. Now, that's all he had to say. We have also reached out to the FBI for a response on this. No, they didn't respond. Okay. The sheriff said there is still no sign of Nancy, but we have good leads. Now, I'm going to ask y'all again, where are y'all seeing he's reporting there's no glove in that house? Can y'all link me to the story? I'm going to go check my DM and see if I got it. Just no briefing scheduled, so I don't know where y'all are. Is it in that report, maybe? Yeah, I know there was no press briefing, any significant blah, blah, blah bullshit. Okay, I don't know where y'all are seeing that he's reporting this glove is not there. I don't know where that's coming from. And if y'all saw it, you know where you saw it at, right? Or did you look to see who posted it? I do. When I see a post, I got to go, who posted this? Let me go look at their account. What does their bio say? How long they been? What other stuff do they tweet out? That's how I weed myself through the bullshit. I've seen some interesting tweets, but then when I go look at who it came from, then I got, oh, yeah. Yeah, the FBI can clarify that timeline as far as what time those cameras actually went offline, as opposed to this. We'll get to Harvey's little interview in a minute. I'm still waiting on to be linked on where we're hearing that no glove in the house. Let me see. Maybe I can find it on the twits. Let me just look for myself. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I got to do some recon. I don't like not knowing where shit come from. Oh, come on. You really going to tweet that out, Miss Burnett? What questions do you have about the Nancy Guthrie case? Leave them in the comments. So Matt Finn, is that where y'all saw it? Let me pull it. I don't know what this says, but I'm going to pull it up because he's claiming he done spoke to the sheriff now. He's local too. Well, for a guy who's not doing interviews, you sure doing interviews, buddy. Okay. So an hour ago, breaking, I just did a wide-ranging interview with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos about a lot of topics. Here are some highlights. Nanos tells Fox that his office did not find a glove at Nancy's home. We have no glove. We never found a glove on that property. Which, again, why would a crook take the fucking glove off in the house? Unless it was in his way of what he was doing. Makes no sense. So I don't know where these sources are coming from. Nana, and we ain't saw nobody arrest Tom Tom yet. Or throw up crime scene tape around his house. My money's on kidnappers for a fucking large sum of ransom, and they done got scared and skipped the fuck out. Nanos claims his office has been using the same contracted private lab for decades, long before he was in office. He says his office started sending the Guthrie evidence to this lab from the start, and that the Guthrie family DNA and other DNA swabs are there too. So that the Guthrie DNA, they've swabbed Savannah, they have swabbed Annie, they have swabbed Tom. And if y'all thought that never occurred, we're fools and we need to stop and go find a new hobby. So it makes sense to keep sending the incoming evidence there so that lab can immediately run the evidence against what is already in-house. Now, everything done at the state lab in the Idaho 4 case is all there and documented because you don't want it in 50 different places. He says why split evidence between the private lab and Quantico. Why split it? Okay, we trust the FBI's crime lab. We've used them before. But in this case, we started with that lab. It's just that simple. That's because y'all hadn't invited them into town yet. And they hadn't called to say, hey, you need our... FBI called once there was a kidnapping ransom letter sent out. Let's be honest, because that came out Monday night too. Monday's when the FBI showed up after the ransom letter was received, and the FBI called and said, you might need us, Bubba. You got a kidnapping on your hands. That's our jams. Nanos claims he is working together well with the FBI, claims he would have no reason not to seek their help and partnership. Absolutely crazy that he wouldn't use their partnerships. Nanos claims he called the FBI the next working day, the Monday after Nancy went missing. Huh, really? Because we're hearing reports that didn't happen. He shoots down claims he was reluctant to include the FBI and says, for example, they quickly let the FBI take the lead on the ransom notes because the FBI is better. FBI is going to come in anytime there's a ransom note offered. Not because they're better with their technology. What the fuck? On the ransom notes and their legitimacy, he says the FBI is the expert on that and he can't comment. Well, we fucking don't want you nowhere near that. And we're talking about trying to find who sent an email to a fucking secured server and VPNs were used. You're way above your pay grade, right? We get it. On whether this is a kidnapping or something else, he says, we believe it's a kidnapping, but you always consider all possibilities. What other possibilities could there be? Random guy at the door in a mask. Lady is gone. No belongings were taken. Hell, if I'm going to take the time to take her, I'm going to take me some jewelry as well. I got a feeling Miss Nancy might have had a nice little jewelry collection. Was it in the safe and you couldn't get to it? Nothing else of value in the house. The sheriff said in a local news interview that they found a few different gloves in the area. See, we keep hearing that. one glove. Then I heard there was a set of gloves found. Again, I ask any of you who have scoured social media for 13 days, do y'all see anywhere in the media reports of where that second set of gloves was found, or the set of gloves? We have a random lone glove and then a set of gloves that may or may not even be relevant to the case. Litter bugs exist in America. They didn't listen. They still throw shit out the car windows. I see it all the time and it disgusts me. I can't get the picture of the image from the 70s of the Indian standing in the fucking ravine or in the lake crying because of all the damn debris littered around him from the garbage people want to throw out. That hit me in the 1970s as a child. I'll never forget that crying Indian out of my face. I can't get it out of my head. Because it was true. It was a very powerful commercial, and it just shows the Indian standing there crying, and then it pans out, and you can see all the fucking garbage in the water around him. And I totally got it, and it resonated with me for the rest of my entire life. But people don't think, because they're narrow-minded, I don't want to put this in my car, I'll just chunk it out the window. Can't throw it away when you get home or to the gas station and throw it away? A little too much trouble for you? You want to do your part to save the planet? Okay. And now our planet is dying and we can't figure out why. It's fucking February 13th and I'm burning up in Florida. And last year I got a fucking snowstorm. Make it make sense. Nobody is ever really eliminated. When asked if anyone has been ruled out, y'all, I get sidetracked a lot, sorry. Nano says the Rico, Arizona man who was briefly detained the other night is a delivery person who was in the area of Nancy's house. More than one issue lead sheriff to the Rico man. More than one lead? After talking to the sheriff, feels satisfied with his alibi. So, did he show up in your geofence warrant, or how did y'all pin him as the guy that had the van? How did y'all pin him as the guy in the area with the delivery van? Was he seen on somebody's camera delivering that day and you got a clear vision of him? Did you show up in your geofence warrant and boom, there you go. Now, that might be a problem going forward. I don't really know. Nanos will not confirm, but if you got other leads, Carlos has got her in the house, because that's what his mother-in-law said. They showed up saying, we were told Nancy's in your house. That's exactly what she said. Nanos will not confirm to Fox if there was forced entry at Nancy's house or whether the front or back door was used. At this point, the crook knows if he broke in or not. He fucking knows how he got in that house. We don't. So keeping that close to the vest, how's that going to help the investigation? In case he had an assailant partner, a partner that don't know the door was broken or not broke. I mean, come on, make it make sense. I didn't see damage to either door that I could see. And they seemed to shut properly because y'all was the damn door, the blue back door was shut really well when y'all were back there taking down the mysterious lights off the guest house. Nano says Nancy's blood was found outside her home and Nancy's DNA was recovered inside, but can't confirm the DNA inside is blood. I fucking expect you to recover her DNA inside her home. So now you got word salad, sir. You got biological DNA. Of course Nancy's DNA is in that house. It's her home. Huh. See, I tried to decipher the bullshit because I'm done with it. You got something in that house. You got blood because we can see the blood outside the door, unless you're going to say that the kidnapper injured her once she got out the door. I think that injury occurred in the house because Miss Nancy might have been a little feisty. The hell you coming in my house going to take me out my front door against my will? Where's my cane? I'm going to beat your ass with my cane. Mm-mm-mm. Maybe he should have just not said another word. Why can't the FBI come out and say, well, we didn't ask him to send it to Quantico after all. I don't know where y'all got that from. We can clarify that. Nano claims he is working well with the FBI. Okay, whatever. Or whether this is a kidnapping, all possibilities. I don't know what other possibility it could be. The sheriff said in a local news interview that they found a few different gloves in the area. Some were miles away. On this topic, he told Fox that they are not necessarily prioritizing every glove. The further from the crime scene, and if it wasn't en route between Annie and her mama's, it may not be relevant, but it wouldn't hurt to test it, right? Just to see if it matches what you got in the house. Because you got Nancy's DNA from inside the house. So do you have an unexplained DNA in the house? Because I expect Tom's to be there, and I expect Annie's. And I'm sure Savannah's is there as well as all their children and spouses. So if you got Tom's DNA all up in that house because he's there a lot, you can't prove Tom did anything by just having DNA of his in that house. It's not on a weapon. It's not on a glove. It's just on a fucking doorknob or the kitchen drawer, the refrigerator. What are we doing here? The toilet handle? Simi, bless your heart. You did not. Was you in Sarge's chat? You had 2,000 and you were the only mod? Do you need help, girlfriend? He don't got no other mods? Or were they all busy? It's hard to moderate a chat like that when it's just flying and everybody's letting their freak flag fly at the same time, right? If I'm gets to going that fast, we're just gonna let it fucking roll. My mod, it's just hard to keep up. My mods, we have a hard enough time keeping up with this chat, and it's a small chat. Only time my chat gets super busy and annoying is when we got a troll who slides in from Idaho. That happens occasionally because I got nothing else to do today. I got nothing to do today. Let me go troll around. It's so much fun. Because I got nothing better to do but be immature and troll. I got no critical thinking skills. I can't really come talk about true crime with y'all, but I'll come troll you for doing it. Okay, bye. Some people got to get their thrills somehow. He will not confirm if there was forced entry or whether or not the front door or back door was used. Well, here's the thing, Bubba. If that front door was used, our guy has a key. Duh. Nanos will not confirm if the back door was used or not. Nanos says blood was found inside the home. Okay, it was Nancy's, or outside of the home was Nancy's, and they have DNA in. All right. On the criticism that the sheriff's office released the Nancy Guthrie crime scene house too soon, opened it up too quick. Says it's not true. They got what they needed. I asked him if they should have cleaned up the blood out of sanctity, and he said it's not their role. Now, there's usually crime scene cleanups that occur. Said it's a slap on his team to say that they left too soon. We didn't say you left too soon, sir. Don't get it twisted. You released the crime scene too soon and did not keep it secure. And now we got a whole bunch of people's DNA falling off of them and shedding onto Nancy's property, including dogs taking pisses. And if y'all did happen to overlook something, it's too late now. Also says the deputy cars out front now are at the request of the family for safety. It's not that the sheriff's signaling they left too soon. I never thought you put a cop there because you thought you left too soon. Stop it. You put a cop there because the Guthries wanted protection of their mother. Look, you can't think everybody on that street gawking is a good person. They might want to make entry into that house. Now that nobody's there in the dead of night, can I go rob some shit from this missing lady? I want security at my mom's house. You got a bunch of people crawling around my mama's house all of a sudden. But that security guard is so good at his job, or that sheriff's deputy, he allows pizza deliveries, flower deliveries, random ladies to walk up into the yard with their fucking dog. You know, you weren't worried about the crime scene secured no more. You just let that freak flag fly. On allegations that family members are involved, the family has been fully, 100% completely, whatever we've asked, they've done. I'm sure they did. Can I have your phone? Can I swab your cheek? Can I get your timeline? You can't accuse people of a horrific crime like that and not have any facts behind it. Huh. That's an interesting statement there, sir. We don't know that there's nothing behind it. We know he's not been arrested yet, and his house was never a crime scene, but I'll just move on past that now. Nanos has talked to Savannah Guthrie. He says they've talked and texted, but she doesn't need to talk to the sheriff. She has people. The whole family has my number. She's probably not wanting to talk to him a whole lot right at the moment. You were at Police Off the Cuff? I used to watch him, Simi. I have not watched him in a long time. I think because I stay so busy anymore, I just don't watch some of the people I used to watch. But I actually found him during the Madeline Soto case. I watched a lot of his content back then. I'll have to go check out some of the stuff. Okay. On reports and previous incidents that suggest Nanos doesn't have a good relationship with the FBI. You Google what you Google, he says. You read what you read. Sir, we saw a video. I saw a video of you in 2016. I don't know who doesn't come out with a press conference and say things. He was pointing the finger at the FBI. He didn't like it. They didn't come out and clarify shit about him. Who does that? He said. Who does that? Who doesn't hold a press conference? You, sir. You. And the two you held were like, what? He don't want us to Google anything about him, guys. We might find stuff. I've got no response, he said. I've always had a good relationship with the FBI. They're a good team and they're good people. What is this? That pool better be fucking spotless when I get back. Fucking Keith cracks me up. Nancy sitting in a dark, cold room without her medication and with likely just enough food and water to sustain. Are they at her house? Pool service company just arrived at Nancy's home. He just went back to the home escorted by 2 county deputies. Scheduled maintenance. There's your pool cleaner guy right there. Sir, did they swab you for your DNA? Can we get a good look at your eyeballs? Can you stand up straight and walk for me? I need to see your gait. Do you got a tattoo on your wrist, maybe? What's the name of your company? I got to Google everything about you. Is your name on there somewhere? Don't put it out there. I'll see it and I'll run with it. Maybe behind the scenes and do my own research, but I'm going to notice it and go for it. What is that, a QR code on your truck? Gotcha. So I can imagine Savannah and Annie are a little preoccupied and maybe didn't cancel everything coming up. Okay, I see you there, Simi. I do like him. The police off the cuff. He's a cool guy. So he's retired officer, right? Retired law enforcement. the link to that channel. One of you guys, if y'all can, it's called Police. I don't. Is it Police Off the Cuff, Simi? Right? He's got some good content. Like I said, I found him during the Madeline Soto case, and I began to watch him then. All right, so we got a pool guy there, and we can all see the cleaning and maintenance repairs. Let's go look at JLR's live feed, and we can see him roll in. What is this? No, no, no. Who is Charles Ramsey? Sebastian Rogers allegedly came up missing in 2024. Allegedly? Sir, he's gone. What are you talking about, allegedly? He came up missing. Y'all ain't cracked the case yet. No worries, I'll handle it. Okay. Well, I guess we're safe now. Charles Ramsey's going to go find Sebastian for us. I wish to hell you would, because I worry about that child the same way I worried about Elizabeth Smart. Wow. I mean, it's a crime scene. It's not a crime scene anymore. It's been released. They can do whatever they need to do. Yeah, they're on a schedule, Rachel. It's already scheduled, obviously. They just, nobody canceled the pool guy. So, not everybody is glued to the fucking YouTubes and the TV like we are, getting updates. People were like, how did Carlos not know about Nancy? Y'all, he lived 50 fucking miles away. He may not be the evening news watching kind of guy. I didn't get that impression. He door dashes in the evenings. I mean, it's not on these pool guys to say, well, wait a minute, Miss Nancy's missing. Maybe we shouldn't go. It's still on the schedule, guys. Maybe the company called Savannah. Do you still want us to go out and clean the pool, hun? Or Annie or whoever they got on that can reach out to? I don't fucking know. But there you have it. That is wild. Two hours ago, the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office will continue to hold an individual accountable who seeks to interfere with federal investigations or attempts to profit from a grieving family. What about the second letter to TMZ? Y'all got that person yet? Derek Colella, 42, of Hawthorne, California, is alleged to have sent ransom demands via 2 text messages to a missing person's family on the 4th. Okay, we already know. Guys, I'm just looking at Twitter for a minute. We'll play some videos in a minute. No, 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 no. Nancy, what are you doing with Tucson's refugee? I don't care. So they did not find a glove in the house. Guys, I don't know if they did or didn't. Are the sources wrong about the glove in the house? Everybody's showing the pool cleaning incident now. Let me go see if Mike has anything updated, or Brian, before we leave the twits. Why are you putting... Did the sheriff mute me for real? He may have, because I asked a question. This post from an account you muted. I didn't mute them, motherfucker. Why would I do that? Okay, so they're just going back over the Colella stuff. All right. And again, with the height and weight, or no weight really, 5'9", 5'10", average build. So the boy next door in America. Go look at your neighbor, your husband's. That is a description of my husband, or my ex-husband. But yeah, that's his description. Throw in a couple of tattoos, make him look real scary when he's not. Oh boy. Okay, we do have some other things I want to review with you guys. Simi. It's the struggle, right? It is a struggle. Ruth, you get it, right? Oh, Ruth Ann, bless you. That's what you're there for, right? Help out when needed. Thank y'all for listening while you're doing your things in the background. I appreciate y'all. All right, let me look at my let me get that out of my way before I make a big mess on myself. I think I need a new coffee pot. I feel like it's turning itself off long before it should. I'm like, I didn't tell you to turn off coffee pot. What are you doing? You're supposed to stay on until I'm done. We got an issue here. All right, let me see if we can take a look at this so we can get this out of the way. Okay. That's the wrong list. Okay, here we go. It's going to be on this one. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, so this was Harvey Levin on the Aaron Burnett show.
That backpack identified as a black 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker Pack backpack, which confirms what TMZ founder Harvey Levin said to us last night here on the show about the backpack. The FBI is also releasing images of what a similar backpack looks like. And it comes as TMZ has now received another email from some.
The only thing about this Ozark backpack, the front view, what do you see? The big old emblem, the brand logo. I don't see a logo on the backpack guy's backpack. That don't mean nothing, but I just don't know how they narrowed it down to that specific. We have not been, that hasn't been confirmed. I mean, the FBI has tweeted it. I mean, I guess so. I mean, it looks a lot like it, but the only thing that threw me off was the logo. Yeah, I know. I used to have one, Rachel, and years ago, and I need a new one. I really do. I just need a new coffee pot. Fuck it.
Someone who claims to know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, purporting to be the same person who had sent them an email.
Now, I did notice on the backpack the guy was wearing, there seemed to be the little side stretchy pouch where you can probably put a water bottle or something. I could see that in the video.
Prior. Harvey Levin is now out front. He's obviously been breaking news from the beginning of this and received the initial.
Oh, one more thing. Can the adults on the internet please stop making stupid memes? Stop putting out photos of Harvey in the police detective's, sheriff's deputy suit. Stop putting out images of the assailant at Miss Nancy's door, putting other people's faces on him. Because I can't with y'all, and I will unfollow you with a quickness, children.
Ransom note. So, Harvey, the FBI coming out tonight and confirming the backpack model that you reported here 24 hours ago. You were very specific that this was an Ozark Trail hiker pack because you guys had gone and done the boots on the ground reporting at Walmart. Turns out you're right.
Yeah. The problem with that is it's a pretty common backpack and it sells a lot. So
pretty common backpack and it sells a lot. And like we said, Rach, how long ago did he buy the damn backpack, right? A year ago. Was that the backpack he rode when he rode his motorcycle or his bicycle with his reflectors? I'm not sure. Where's the logo right there? How did they, you can see the pouch here on the side. You can see the straps, just the whole thing.
I'm actually more interested in this holster.
Me too.
Because I think the holster is so unique because the type of gun that he had in that holster is not the type of gun that I really think carry in it. So that maybe a gun store would have kind of seen that holster and been surprised at the kind of gun that was in it. So,
but do you think they would go, wait, I sold a holster like that, can't see the color, and it appears to be white and too big for the gun. What's that going to do for a guy who sells holsters? Did he just sell it? Why would you go buy a holster that didn't fit your gun? You grabbed one you already had or your buddy had that may or may not work perfectly. There's some of this that has no rhyme or reason to it. And you might be making a bigger deal out of something than needs to be. I feel like it might be a little group of criminals here. Hey, buddy, I do happen to have one, but it just won't fit your gun. And we're never going to know where it came from. Y'all know that criminals don't walk into a gun store and legitimately purchase their gun. Y'all know that, right? Unless you're the type A murderer. Well, we don't know where he got his guns, but whatever. Most criminals aren't going to walk into a legit store and legally buy their handgun. So I doubt they get their holster from a reputable dealer either.
The backpack, maybe somebody, will have a lead on that, but I think that holster is really important.
And you know what? You were talking about the holster last night, too. You identified it as really important. And I know you were making calls. You were calling all of the gun ranges, right, to see if anybody had showed up with that type of a holster, right? Because as you were pointing out, Harvey,
let me go to the gun range and look like an idiot with my small gun and my big holster. What?
Someone who really knew a lot about guns or who was in law enforcement, who had a gun range, a holster like this would stand out to them, right? So they might remember somebody had come in, which was your logic, and you were making those calls. Have you learned anything?
No, I mean, look, we're making calls all day. And a lot of the people, don't want to talk if you're not one of the authorities. And a lot of them said, we don't know anything. It's just one of those things where you make 100 phone calls and, eventually somebody says, oh, yeah, I remember that. We haven't gotten that so far.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you about this email, because
what if that guy's not even from Arizona? I know y'all think he is. Got to know the area. Maybe the people he's working with know the area. But there's no telling where this guy came from. I do know when he approaches the stoop, he bites his flashlight and turns the light on so he doesn't miss the step.
You got another email, Harvey, from someone who says they know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie and that they'll reveal it for one Bitcoin, which we were talking about this last night, $67,000. You had gotten one yesterday. Okay, now you got another one. And the writer tells you this is going to be their final communication attempt. So tell me what it says.
Well, again, this is the same person who sent us something yesterday. And this one, well, it is more ominous, and we can talk about that in a minute. But this person says, you got to take me seriously. And he's saying the reason he wants this Bitcoin is because he is going to have to go underground. Because he says he fears retaliation. He knows.
Then that means he too is a criminal. Let's use our critical thinking brain. The FBI just doubled their tip reward money to $100,000, trying to smoke this guy out. Let's be real, because that come down after this. And the Bitcoin was, one Bitcoin is, depending on the day, I didn't check Bitcoin this morning. I got out of the habit of checking the coins when I got out of the Web3 world. But it can fluctuate. So it was just over 50 grand the first time, up to nearly 60 the second time the letter come. The guy he's not trying to get a few extra thousand. He's trying to be anonymous. If I go to the FBI and turn over what I know, they're going to know who I am. Because they got to give me the reward money. They're going to know who I am, and I'm a fucking criminal.
Knows who the kidnapper is, and he's going to be kind of tarred and feathered, as he puts it, a national rat. But he also mentions the delivery man. He said,
Anna, I saw that too. I live in Northwest Florida, and we are home to the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. I was raised on rivers, and I was taught my entire life to watch out for the rattlesnakes, what to watch for, what to look for, what to listen for. We walked our asses up and down those dirt roads my entire life. We ran across many a rattlesnakes, not too many at night. I don't know about the Arizona desert, but I don't think he was biting that light at the same time the step was coming up to make sure he wasn't crawling up on top of a rattler. Otherwise, we'd have had a flashlight on the whole fucking time if I was scared of a rattlesnake. Because one thing I do not do is snakes. I can't stand. I don't even want to see a picture of a snake. I will flip out and jump across the room.
Don't want, this, I could end up with, being implicated the way this delivery.
I mean, people are just coming up with random stuff. Why is there a random crook going to kidnap Miss Nancy? And why is the crook only concerned about stepping on snakes?
Man was, and he was, detained but released, and he doesn't want that either. So he said basically he needs this Bitcoin.
I mean, it's like we're making excuses for the criminal at this point. Oh, he wasn't doing nothing wrong. He's looking for snakes. That's how that come across to me. Not that is nothing against you, Anna, but because I saw the same thing and I thought how ridiculous that somebody came up with that's the reason he had the light on. Really? Is that your best guess? He's scared of rattlesnakes. Okay.
Coin, so he can just, just disappear for a while and not work.
Yeah, no.
I got to tell you, Aaron.
And not work. Harvey, you think that guy that sent you that letter works, buddy? On the up and up kind of work? Sir, where's your critical thinking cap, Harvey? Did it fall off?
We made it very clear yesterday that we forwarded yesterday's to law enforcement. We forwarded this one to law enforcement and said that if this is a hoax, it's a crime. It's a federal crime. And this person came back.
Right, Anna. Most of the rattlesnakes are wanting to hide. But if you walk up on one, he might get aggressive. That's anywhere in the country. Rattlesnakes are rattlesnakes. Arizona or eastern, I don't know if they got eastern diamondback or not, but my eastern diamondback's behavior is going to be the same wherever he goes, right? Because I'm a desert snake, I'm going to get startled more easily. But I'm with you on this. It's not, he wasn't wearing the damn light because he was scared of rattlesnakes. People need to stop making excuses for what this criminal was doing. He wasn't there to kidnap Miss Nancy. He was going to break in. Why take her? She's old. You got a mask on. Let's be serious.
And is really saying, look, this is the last time I'm going to send you anything, but I know who this kidnapper is and I can lead you to him. So, look, I don't know. We've sent it on to the FBI.
If JLR hadn't run across no rattlesnake yet, if anybody was, he's going to it, ain't he? Yeah, you might see a rattlesnake outside, right? But can we not with the distraction? There's no way in hell you're going to convince me that guy was biting his flashlight to light up the ground in case he saw a snake. Let me make sure there's no snake on the porch. No, I don't want to miss my step. He didn't care. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's too easy.
FBI, they're looking at it. But he says something in the middle of it that, he paints a very bleak picture.
Okay, I want to ask you about a lot of things here on the bleak picture as well. But can I just ask you one thing, just to be very clear, because I think you're right on the edge of it. But
you're right about that, Anna. Their vibrations is what the snake picks up on. They're going to try to move away from you. Steve Irwin, bless his heart, before he died, he came here and he went to the Eglin Air Force Base reservation, which is right next door to my daddy's property ends, the reservations begin. One of the largest Air Force bases in the world. We are a sitting fucking duck when shit goes down. All right, but we are also highly secure around here. Steve Irwin came down here and did an entire special on the eastern back diamond rattlesnake right here in my hometown. I know snake. I've been raised around these snakes. You're not convincing me that dude was just looking for a snake. It's not happening.
But I want to make it clear, because last night we were laying out, well, if you get $50,000 from the FBI and $67,000 is one Bitcoin.
Well, welcome in, Leslie. It's been a while. Welcome back. I think you came in yesterday or the day before. I think I can sit here and go on an hour spill about Harvey, but I'm not, right? Harvey's getting letters. I don't think he's making them up. I've seen the chatter. He's turning them over to the FBI. So even if they were made up, the FBI is going to know where they were made up at. I'm waiting on the FBI to arrest the people who sent the damn letters to him, just like the other guy in Cali. But I don't know that it's odd that TMZ is involved in anything. I think it's odd people want to send them shit because people are odd. But I just, I'm not ready to go after Harvey yet.
Why not just call law enforcement?
Harvey seems to know a lot about all the cases. Look at all he did in the David and Celeste case. Look at all that. Look at all that.
And do it that way, right? And it made it feel like maybe this wasn't real. But you just walked up to the edge there on that they're giving you a reason, that they're saying they'd be tarred and feathered, or what was the reason that they gave why they were coming to you and not with the FBI?
They didn't say. They did not say.
It's a no-brainer, Harvey. I need to lay low after all of this. They're going to be really mad at me when I tell who did it. What happened with you? Okay, if this is a legit person emailing Harvey now, I know where Miss Nancy, I know who's got Miss Nancy. What kind of beef did you have with the kidnapper, sir, and what was your part in it? How do you know these kidnappers? And when did they piss you off? Because not everybody's going to know. Hell, I was just reviewing that thing last night where they were talking about this one case where a kid was kidnapped. Or I forget how it went down. The person was kidnapped. But they literally found her within 5 miles of their home. A family was paid to take care of that person, and while all the ransom shit was figured out. A family was paid to take care of the victim. Can we start looking at other true crime cases before we can jump to conclusions in one?
They just gave this reason that they need the money because they're going to have to go underground, and I assume what that means is they're not going to make any money, while they go underground. But they seem, at least, again, if it's real, scared of retaliation. And I think that's at its base. And we talked yesterday that, sometimes, they don't pay.
That's cool, Anna. You know what I'm talking about then? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we don't bother the damn snakes. Not unless we're ridiculous and wanting to get bit, right? You just don't bother them. You see them, and you got 10 cousins, all under the age 13, maybe a few that were older. We're all going to go walking because that's what we do in the woods. We go walk, we explore. You kids watch for snakes. Yes, sir. So we're all walking, but we have to scan the side of the road where the woods are. And the minute we see one come out, we freeze, we stop. We all just stay back. The last time I went camping on Fort Pickens Campground, Pensacola Beach, who also has rattlesnakes, I walked right up on one. I'm just taking my walk, enjoying my THC in the woods, and the biggest thing I can't stand is snakes. Where there he is, right in the middle of the damn road. I just had to stop and stand there and give him all the space he needed to get the fuck on across that road. And then I stood there a few extra minutes to make sure he went on up into them woods before I went back to the campsite. They're not going to jump out at you and grab you just because they sense you, right? Again, a distraction. I'm not talking about snakes anymore. Sorry, y'all. Rant over.
The reward to a certain person. And so this is more of a bird in the hand, I guess. I don't know whether there's any coincidence here about him asking for a Bitcoin again and the FBI now raising the stakes to $100,000 because now it's significantly more than the Bitcoin. I don't know. It's just,
it's fair.
Leslie, do you hold any of these social media or mainstream media people? I get it. Y'all can feel however y'all want about anybody out there, social media, mainstream media, go do you. none of us are 1,000% here taking everything Harvey says as gospel, right? I think we can discern the differences, but it's just, it's not odd that somebody reaches out to TMZ. In a way, it is because they know they're going to get publicity for it. But do you want that publicity, or do you want the world to know, hey, I do have something here? I don't fucking know, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend the FBI in the background is not all over these damn letters that are coming in. They was all over Carlos' ass. Are we going to pretend they're not investigating these letters? And if it was a dumbass idiot sitting at home behind their keyboard, the FBI be knocking soon. Hope it wasn't one of y'all.
I
We
thought of that
forwarded
too.
on. Yeah, yeah.
So Harvey, okay, so now in it, you talk about that there's a sentence in there where it paints a very bleak picture and there's an ominous warning. What is that?
Look, I mean, the reason I don't want to put this out there, and it's not even so much that law enforcement asked us not to, but I don't know that this is real or not. So I don't want to put something out there that may not be true at all. But this person is acting like things have the situation has changed. Let me just kind of leave it at that. I just don't.
The situation has changed. Okay? If your letter writer is legit, again, what happened between him and the other kidnapper? What went wrong? Unless we got Cali guy's buddy sitting here emailing you now. But if it's legit, something went terribly wrong.
I don't want to go beyond that, other than to say that if this person is real, this is a dire situation.
A dire situation regarding Nancy Guthrie.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I understand. I think we all understand what you're saying. So they basically, if it's real, and we don't know.
Okay, I don't need to hear you go. Yes, we do not know if it's real. So Harvey had received 2 email communications stating they know who has Miss Nancy and they're demanding a Bitcoin. There has been no activity in that wallet yet that we are aware of. That's not been reported if it was. Last check I saw, it was no activity. But then it's just weird to me that when that came out and they demanded a Bitcoin, which was just over the amount of the actual reward, FBI now doubles the reward. Was that a coincidence? All these true crime people, there's no coincidence in true crime. Yes, hell there is. Are we still running with that theory, that crazy, wild theory that there's none ever? Ever? Was it a coincidence that Molly, the DoorDash driver, showed up when Koberger did? Was it just a coincidence she couldn't find what the hell a house she was? There's all kinds of stuff. Coincidences happen. And I've seen so many talking heads. I don't believe in a coincidence in crime. Will we believe it anywhere else, though? We do, right? We believe it in other instances, but not crimes. We have to get better at figuring out if it's related or not, right? Sometimes it's just maybe, maybe not. TMZ is going to milk every story. Did y'all not watch their coverage on David and Celeste before this shit kicked off? Again, I knew about Harvey Levin before TMZ. The same way I've known Ashley Banfield and all the rest of them long before who they are right now. We're talking 1990 something, right? That's what TMZ does. So I sometimes I hate even reviewing some of this stuff because of where it came from, because people feel some type of way. I don't like everybody I review either, but I'm willing to hear what's being said in case it's important. I had to go review somebody the other night that I absolutely cannot stand. But I did it because I needed the knowledge. I wasn't going to say, I can't stand her, I'm not going to watch it. No, I watched it. Because I don't want secondhand shit coming back at me. I want to know for myself. Okay. Let me get back to my list and see what I want to show you guys next. Yeah, I don't know nothing about I don't care about their demo. You know what I mean? They're just TMZ, just like Enton is Enton and Banfield is Banfield, and then I'm me, right? There's 1,000 damn YouTube channels out there, and some of them are legit and credible, and some are just yay. What are you doing? Altering damn audio and shit. Talking about listen to this. So before I go throwing the mainstream media completely under the bus and talking smack about them, I'm going to do the same thing about these social media people. And that would include myself. Again, one reason why I haven't blasted Annie and Tom's business all over the internet, because I don't know if they're suspects for real yet. I really wouldn't appreciate that happening to me if I wasn't a legit suspect in something. Because everybody's going to stalk you and run to your Facebook page, and the next thing you know, your baby's pictures and everything's all over the fucking place. Lock down your accounts, people. Okay, let me see. Let me get back to my list. Where'd it go? Here. Oh, pushing the wrong button. If I push the wrong button. All right, this is an early report from K-Gun. And I watched it because I was reviewing stuff, trying to get photos of the freaking guest house from day one, which is apparently, I don't know where they're at. I don't know. I can't even get a direct answer out of, except Mike says they didn't see cameras out there before the FBI took them, so I don't know where they came from. So this is part of my trolling that I was looking for. And I found this. I haven't had time to look for more yet. I just kind of got frustrated last night, and it's like, ugh. Okay. So this was actually 10 days ago. Let's see, February 2nd. So we got February 2nd here. This was put out.
Nanos this afternoon, and that is that he does believe that she was taken from this home. From Sheriff Nanos this afternoon, and that is that he does believe that she was taken from this home sometime between Saturday night and Sunday morning, and that is one of the leads that they're working as well. Let's bring in KGUN 9's Andrew Christensen now. Andrew has been following this story since Sheriff Nanos actually called a news conference last night about this time, a little later than this, but you got here and it was already getting really dark.
Yeah, it was dark, and it's not often that Nanos actually comes to press conferences within the neighborhood of a crime scene, so it was really different in that way. It was also very dark. A lot of crime scenes that I report on have those lights from the deputy vehicles from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. That was different. There were no lights, so a very actually quiet neighborhood, and they tried to remain quiet during their investigation.
They didn't even have their police lights on. They're like, shh, quiet. We don't want any. Your blue lights and red lights from the cop car is not going to cause enough noise pollution to screw up the astrology department, but okay.
It was interesting that even last night, though, he mentioned that things were different in that home. It wasn't just an older adult have gone missing. They thought perhaps it was a crime scene even last night.
Yeah, they definitely did. At that point, he wasn't telling us overtly, hey, this is a crime scene. He was just saying, hey, we would not be surprised if it was a crime scene.
We wouldn't be surprised if it was not a crime scene. That is an odd statement for a sheriff to make. You either know or you don't know the minute you walk in the door. I don't know what, you know what, in this picture, does that look like a light? Does that look like a camera was already there? If I screenshot that and blow it up later, is it going to be too blurry for I can't see it? Hold on. Because that white car was there. That was before they ever came and removed those cameras. Y'all help me find the damn camera. I want proof they were there before. Yeah, Anna. So yeah, I mean, Banfield's got her. Look, she's not the only one with sources, right? That's what I said this morning. Everybody wants to tear her down over her FBI source, but Brian's is accurate. I don't get that. I mean, how do we know who's accurate at this point, right? We don't know. And they're just providing us what they've been told by certain people. It's not even Ashley's fault or Brian's that what they receive may not be completely accurate. But they want to hold us accountable for being messy Marvins out here.
They were still looking into the
Stupid true crimers on the YouTube.
details of her missing. So this was just something that was ongoing at the time.
And I know that Savannah Guthrie and her mother, Nancy Guthrie, are they're two people that you actually got to meet a few months ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so they came over to film the Today Show, and it was all about Savannah here in Tucson, how she grew up and stuff. So I did meet both Savannah and Nancy. Her mom, Nancy, was just super proud of her daughter, just saying, hey, like, she's done this and she's done that. And she also, Internet K-Gun is something that I found out. So just kind of like that mom pride that she could really shine through. Very nice
and
woman.
And that Tucson pride shown through.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Andrew.
So Nanos was there night one. And I just can't believe he's going to sit there and tell the media this might be a crime scene. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. I just don't. But see, the reason I'm trying to go back and find these older, the very early on stuff, because I want to see that guest house. Because for some reason, I just got this feeling. I just have a feeling about what that was, what they were doing. I don't know for sure, but I got a feeling. Until somebody can prove to me those were there the whole time. So far, they haven't. Let me check on chat. I've got some other stuff I want to review, and it's the stuff with Carlos. We have the audio from the night he was arrested. I'm going to go check the Twitter too, though, and see if I can actually see any. Hang on, let me check my messages. All right, let me see what that is. Oh, that's what I just read. Okay. Got it. Thank you, Butterfly. Lord, my sister messaging me. Okay. Now, let me get back up here. Do y'all think that they're going to have an arrest with these two random emails that Harvey sent, or do y'all think that they're legit and they might know where Nancy's at? And they're legitimately wanting the Bitcoin because they got to go underground and they got to hide. These criminals, elaborate criminals, have a fucking network. They will stay underground and behind the shadows forever. And when this may not be what we think it is. Okay, what if it was just a random robber who fucked up? But are we going to pretend that elaborate criminal networks do not exist? Are we going to pretend other high-profile kidnappings never happened? Because I know they have, right? And I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the FBI's next move's going to be with these letter writers to TMZ to get that out of the way. And if you can get to that person, if they don't arrest them in the next day or two, they're absolutely involved. And they've hidden themselves so well with their VPNs and secret servers, just like the original kidnapping letters. Look now, how many days? 13 days in. That letter came in on Monday night, and they still haven't found who wrote those letters. But they found California guy who could text. Now, they've said that the two letters came under different VPN, but under the same secured server. Y'all don't think super intelligent hackers know how to get the job done? criminal networks. That's why you need so much money sometimes. You got quite a few people to pay off. Everybody's got a part and a role. You can't walk in there with one person and kidnap them and pull it all off, especially some street level crook. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Not unless somebody got real damn lucky, right? My sister says, "Are you still alive?" And she wrote back, "I meant, are you still alive?" Yes to both. Nobody got me today. Do y'all think the backpack will lead them anywhere? That they'll be able to, like Brian Koberger, they didn't find that he bought that sheath until they found him and began to look at all his financials and his records, right? It wasn't like they were able to go to K-Bar distributors and find Koberger, because they damn sure tried. Trust me, it's in the documents. They went to everybody trying to figure out who purchased a K-Bar recently. Turns out he got it on the what you call that, the Amazon. You think the emails might be legit, but they are telling us what. But are they telling us what the whole? No, they're not telling us what the whole email says. They never have. They've not told us from day one. Harvey has come out and said they are not going to say some things publicly. Even about that second letter we got, they got right, and the $300 that was allegedly put into the account. One TV station reported that. Harvey says he will not confirm how much he saw into that account. Now, that was days ago. Was that just for the FBI to test the waters, see if someone's going to hit that account and pull that Bitcoin out? I don't know what they were doing with that. Anybody could have put that Bitcoin in that address if they had that address. That's why I have concerns about who all within TMZ's doors saw the email. How many people within the radio or TV station saw the email? Now, I don't think they're going to, I wouldn't put it past TMZ to maybe drop some in there. I don't know if they'd fuck with a case like that. Not at this point. Maybe not. They'd get in trouble. But would somebody be willing to drop money in it to see if somebody bit? That's very messy and dangerous, in my opinion. So I don't know what that was about. I just can't believe they haven't found the person who wrote the original email yet. That bothers me. It makes me feel like it's really tied together. That still has, I don't know what kind of connections old Tom has, if he's, what the hell ever. I don't even know if he's a suspect, so I can't go there with that. I doubt we get, let me go check. Oh, that's not the right button. Go back. I don't want YouTube. What is this? From the New York Times. Okay, let me get this up. Oh, no, I'm not trying to do that. All right, so I saw a clip of Savannah on TV, and they were talking about playing Mahjong and how it's like, I guess everybody's into it now. I couldn't tell you. I don't play it. All right. Get out of here. Nancy Guthrie's friends long for their partner in Mahjong and life. Shortly before she disappeared, Miss Guthrie, the mother of the NBC host, Savannah Guthrie, was celebrating her 84th birthday and playing games. She is Miss Nancy. She a feisty little lady. I got a feeling you're feisty as hell. Nancy Guthrie's friends stopped themselves when they accidentally used the past tense. Two days before she vanished, Nancy Guthrie was sitting in the living room mahjong table with some of her closest friends, so their DNA will also be in that house. A log burning in her fireplace. at 84. I wonder if that. So she's got an actual coffee table all set up to play her game. She loves that shit. She was as competitive as ever as she squared off against younger women, and she had taught how to play. Before they said goodbye on the afternoon of January 30th. So let me ask y'all this. Everybody's going on and on and on too about why would you drop your mama off at the garage door? What if that was Miss Nancy's regular way of entering her house? You know why I suggest that? Here she is. She's got company on the 30th. The 31st, she goes missing. February, Sunday, Monday, or we're seeing photos of the door with a services card stuck in the door. Everybody's trying to figure out why is that card there from adult services? Well, Nancy's got a lot of old friends. It could be a god darn 1,000 things. Doesn't mean they're investigating Nancy for abuse. They could have been investigating somebody else and come to ask Miss Nancy some questions. Let's just be logical. The fact that it was still in the front door after the crime tells me Nancy never used the damn front door and never knew the card was there. I know people who never use their front door, my daddy being one of them. When he pulls around his house, he pulls into the backyard, pulls up, parks his truck, and he gets in and he goes in the back door each and every time. That's how they enter and leave the home. The front door is kind of just for show. It's got to be there because it's got to be there. At this point, we never use it. Occasionally to go sit on the front porch, but 9 times out of 10, we're on the big old deck in the back, right? It's not uncommon to use your driveway or even a side door to enter your home. But the only thing that makes me think that was routine for Miss Nancy is because that card was still there. If her friends were there on the 30th playing games with her, when did that card get put there? Was it Saturday morning? I don't know. I'm over the card situation. But here they are. They're all in her house on the 30th playing the games. That was one day before she went missing. Miss Guthrie checked with one of the players, Ann Burnson, making sure that they were still on to watch church at a friend's house on Sunday. The ritual was to gather in the friend's den and watch a recording of the Manhattan service that Miss Guthrie's youngest child, the host Savannah Guthrie, had attended earlier that morning. They even had wafers and grape juice on hand for communion. But Nancy Guthrie, always punctual, did not arrive at 11 a.m. on February 1st. Her friends texted, then called. So if she was due to arrive at her friends at 11, they didn't call Annie at 11. They called Annie well after 11. Because first they're going to try to reach Ms. Nancy by phone. And they couldn't. Her friends texted, then called. Now, how long did they wait in between each call and text to see if she responded? They contacted Miss Guthrie's older daughter, Annie, who rushed to Guthrie's home, and it was empty. Now, imagine, take Annie off the table as a suspect if you can do that for a moment. And imagine you walk into your mama's home and she's nowhere to be found. I know what that feels like. Not with my mother, but with my daughter. The little girl across the street always stayed at my house. Never had a problem. The one time I allow my daughter to go to her house, I have a problem. I get a phone call at 6 a.m. from my neighbor asking me if my daughter and her daughter are at my house. Excuse me, ma'am? You just woke me up to ask me if my daughter who was staying at your home is at my house? I threw that fucking phone down and ran across that street faster than you could imagine. And when I walked into her house and I walked right past her ass and I walked to that bedroom door and I stood there and realized these two girls really are not in this house, my fucking heart sank. For 30 minutes, I could not find my child. But every single man in the neighborhood, everybody was in their cars, gone looking, and the cops were already called. The neighbor found these two girls walking down the damn highway, and my daughter decided it would be a good idea to go with her friend because she didn't want her to go alone because the girl wanted to run away from her own mother. We all knew it already. It is not a good feeling to walk into a home where you expect to find your loved one and realize they are not there. Where could they have went, right? So imagine if that's really how that played out. And Ashley's source is wrong. The thing about Ashley's source is absolutely Tom and Annie may have been first suspects. You were the last ones to see her. Have we heard in true crime that the last people to see them is always the first suspect? Why would that be a shocker here? I'd be a little mad if they weren't your first suspects and you didn't clear them and make sure, right? I don't believe the church ladies are going to lie. Nancy didn't show up at 11. How long do they wait? Do they give her 10 minutes in case she got a late start, in case the traffic was a little iffy? Do we start calling her at 11:10 and texting her? And do we wait a couple of minutes in between each one? So can we say 11:20-ish, maybe-ish, we began to try to reach Annie? But Annie didn't show up until just before noon. So I don't know how long we don't have a time here when that went to Annie. Of course, that record's on Annie's phone. You have to rule them out, Happy, right? I mean, it's Ski, Utah. You have to rule them out. It makes perfect sense. Now, nearly 2 weeks after Miss Guthrie's disappearance, which the authorities have said they are investigating as an abduction, her friends and family are refusing to give up hope. They put that lady's name out there. Damn. So yeah, that's a little more context behind the church thing, right? Because everybody was going on and on, and then the internet broke itself over that whole fiasco. Yep, Friday the 13th and nothing new. Yeah, the sheriff needs to sit down. There's a lot about the sheriff that is problematic, and we've known that for days, right? We just keep finding out more. And I'm not mad about the DNA thing. There's a whole ass explanation for that, and if people want it, they can go back to the beginning and hear it again. But outside of the DNA stuff we're hearing about, there's a lot of other problems to be worried about with this Nanos guy, right? I've heard enough men tell me in 24 hours they got egos in the department between the FBI and the coppers. Well, y'all would know. You would absolutely know, wouldn't you? Now I got questions for you and how many times you shunned them because they didn't give you the credit you thought you deserved. Oh, y'all shouldn't be so messy out there unless you go to explain yourselves. Can't believe the DNA didn't go to Quantico. Neither did the fucking knife sheath from Idaho, but guess what? The FBI got your boy. Right, Anna, do you get that impression that she's healthy, except she just has a little issues with walking apparently? And what 84-year-old might not, right? A lot of them use a cane just for stabilization. That we heard that she couldn't really make it more than 50 feet without needing something to help her just balance, probably. It wasn't like she's crippled and needed a fucking wheelchair with, electronics all over it. Duh. She didn't have a little riding thing in her house. She didn't have a walker. She had a cane. And a lot of times it's for balance purposes alone. So if you're holding her arm, she's probably going to be perfectly capable of walking, right? But not traipsing off through the brush in the wash. And let's be honest, if you know the area, are you going to traipse off through the brush and the wash with the rattlesnakes and the stickers and the thorns and the cacti? No. You're going to get away in the car. Make this real simple. Yeah. The Anna, I'm not convinced something hasn't happened tragic that they didn't plan to happen. Because we've not heard anything else from those first two ransom letter people. But now we got a guy coming in saying, I can help you find him. So I need to find that guy and find out what he really knows. And if you're just blowing smoke up our ass, I'm ready to put you on blast. Like, we'll grow right now with the blast machine. We ain't scared. We will blast who deserves it. It's plain and simple. It's the second time YouTube treating you it's Friday the 13th, Happy. Is it being mean to you? I'll go kick its ass right now. Hold on. Let me messing with my friends. Is my Twitter going to close too? It might, because my internet's getting shitty at the moment. I may have to re-up the internet and come back, because I really do want to listen to that audio with Carlos, because the amount of resources they're bringing in is intriguing. And all the different departments within the FBI that are really working on this, holy hell. We got the financial crimes unit involved. They were on scene when they arrested Carlos, or detained him. And no, I'm not going to buy him breakfast and tell him to sue people, because by God, you just got looked at like everybody else would have. Get over it and go on about your life. Sorry about your luck. Again, I will say, go figure out who you made mad, Carlos, that might have tipped you off to swat you. I'm not ready to say big bad FBI just snatching people off the streets. Not when I've been screaming for a week. Fucking question somebody, right? Two hours ago, Enton says President Trump just asked why the FBI hasn't taken over the Nancy Guthrie case. So somebody asked him. His response, they didn't want to let go of it. The sheriff didn't want to let. Sir, you couldn't have called him personally. Is he a fan? Is he a Republican? You seem to be able to think you can call whoever and he just gets the job done. So I'm just asking, Mr. Trump, did you call Sheriff Nanos and say, hey, buddy, you might want to let the FBI be lead? Just some advice. You don't mind coming on TV and giving us all advice. We know that. We know that. So y'all got them partnerships, right, with the private sector that you're so proud of. We can't talk the sheriff down off a ledge. What are we doing? Uh-oh, Nerdy's got more footage of the guy coming out of prison. Oh, I'm not prison, the courthouse. Was she his attorney or his mom, or does she walk away? Because she doesn't cross that damn parking lot with his ass. Hold on. Mommy, is that you, Mom? I did it. I emailed them and tried to get money. That's him. Oh, she having a little harder time getting down. Maybe he was ran off and left her. Look, he don't even care about his mama. Is that his mama? Tom might have turned around and helped Miss Nancy down. You, Bubba, look at him. I did something really stupid. See, Look, who told me that earlier he was walking with that lady? Well, he run her off and leave her. That's why I saw him walking across the parking lot thingy all by himself, the courtyard or whatever it is. Ruth Ann, he ain't gonna listen to nobody at this point, right? Actually, he should start listening because I think the nation's getting a little fed up. I would like to know what kind of that's not the guy. Y'all can stop it. See, there they are. That's the note, the card that was left in Nancy's door. I just don't know when it got placed there. And if it had been there a day or two, Nancy's friends could have also entered through the garage. They might pull into the back where the garage is a lot of parking back there as compared to her circular drive. Maybe they all know to enter through the garage. That's just the thing at Miss Nancy's house. And therefore, would you even notice that thing was out there if you didn't hear the doorbell when they came? Brian is asking questions. Oh, no, don't give me that opportunity, Butterfly. He's going to be like, Salty, can you stop it? You're writing a fucking book. So everybody's talking about how he's backtracking on the evidence. Okay. Oh, can we say backtrack again? Can we? Oh, wait, get off of here. I'm not trying to share a screen. I mean, a camera. I'm trying to share a screen. Performance warning. Multiple screens open. I ain't got multiple. Oh, I already had it open. Is he doing that on Twitter, Butterfly, saying submit your questions here? Are you going to ask them if I do? Are you going to decide which ones are relevant to really ask and which ones you put aside? Because I might make mine real good. Mine won't be nothing like, why would you send an inmate to a prison? I got real questions, Bubba. Real questions. Like, was there cameras already on guest house? That Butterfly, hit him up right now. Go ask him. We want clarification on the cameras on the guest house. ASAP. Stat.
Office and the FBI are not seeing eye to eye here on the ground. One of the sticking points, apparently the feds are not satisfied that the sheriff is continuing to send evidence to a private lab instead of sending it to Quantico. But the sheriff tells me that they've been using this private lab for decades. And once the case began here, they immediately started sending their evidence to that private lab.
Okay, so that's, we know. Wagyu of lamb. There's a restaurant about to open around the corner. It's called Wagyu. I'm like, do I go in there or not, y'all? It hasn't opened yet. What's this from? I don't know. I think someone's going to see a ghost. Miss is now listed on the page with all the other missing and kidnapped. Stephanie's on there. Stephanie, I see you, girl. Stephanie Damron. Nancy Guthrie is missing. Focus on that instead of the vile and insane conspiracy theories this platform allows to spread like fire. It's absolutely grotesque. At times it can be, but who do we hold accountable for that in the end? And again, he's not confirming the forced entry stuff. Okay, let's go see what he's got. Is he on here doing it, Butterfly? I have more. First one I want answered. What questions do you have? Okay, here we go. Let's just do it. Am I spelling this all right? Look, I'm going so fast. I want to know if. It's supposed to be if. Actually, my phone cord's in my way. Get out of here. From day one, Bubba. Did you see them? Y'all think of some more? Because I'm going to go back and ask some more. He might get tired of it, but I will. Rachel, it is heartbreaking, Stephanie's case. Who's asking for video? Brian? Comment with a video. No. No. That's weird. Why? Why? So you can put them all. Oh, God. Every fucking buddy in the world's going to take their time. Oh, God. I wish you hadn't done it that way. That's weird. We're going to get the pulse of the society and put them on camera and get what they get. What? Comment with a video asking your question or DM me in a video. Well, I'm not recording myself. No. If you can't answer my typed out question, I'm going to be done with you in about 5 seconds because I'm not understanding that. That's a little sensationalistic, Barbara. Stop it. All right. Now, if y'all want to DM him and make a video of yourself, go right ahead. But they're not getting this face. I may or may not have my hair done. I do not really fucking care. I'm not that lady who needs to get all dolled up. That's what I did. Whatever. Y'all don't even want to see what I look like half the time. I might even be dressed. Somebody sitting here in my pajamas. You don't know. Some days be like that. That's very weird, Happy. Very weird. I could just... Gigi at least says you reach out on the phone or that email thing, right? And do it like that. She ain't asking you to do a video of yourself. Do it here through my channel and clip it. I can just make a short, right? Or I can make a video, but he's going to get my avatar. You're going to get my avatar, Brian. I got trolls out there who try and figure out who we are because we might have said something one day they didn't like. You can put me on blast all you fucking want, but the second you turn your eyeballs on one of my babies, you better buckle up, Buttercup. I may know more about you than you think I do. Like all your troll accounts and how many you got and how far back you've been using them, and you still come in here with them thinking you got me snookered. That shit's comical. It's almost my fun these days. Yeah, the News Nation special is coming up. But, okay, so you're going to put the questions on air, but you're not, and what, you're going to answer them for us? Or are you going to take them to the cop and ask for an interview and ask them? He's just going to answer questions to the best of his ability. I still have the same question, Brian. When you noticed the broken floodlight, did you notice the camera? It's a simple question, and it should have a simple answer. Why is it like pulling teeth? Mike has commented, no, he didn't see any cameras out there. So when did those cameras get there? Hey, Keith, you're cracking me up on the tweets, dude. Cracking me up over there. I do too. I feel horrible for Miss Nancy. We've all had some very sleepless nights lately, which also, the family, of course, has had to have just nothing but turmoil. But this fighting between the FBI and alleged fighting, or this weird ass sheriff, has cost time. Because if you didn't ask the FBI to come in and lend a hand, and they had to call once a ransom note came down, because you still didn't call, and then they got to come into town and clean up your mess, and they got to start at ground zero and work their way back out. Now, I wanted to find. Now, so we watched that guy's news report where they were going to the neighbors' houses and they were looking for a phone. And why are they all over Annie's area doing these things, right? Between the homes of the two. Or they just, like, maybe they have a route in mind that they may have taken. If you look at the maps and you go in and out, how you going to, that's always your first go-to. How am I going to get to this house and get away from it? Where's all my entrance and exit points, right? That's like it should be a no-brainer. Did something they see on somebody's camera, was there a particular car they, like, I don't know, or was it a geofence warrant ping, and then they realize, I don't know where they get this phone they're looking for, how they even got it. But I do know they were pinging Carlos's phone in his car while they were following him. So they already had all the information on Carlos, including his phone number. Just where'd you get the number? I want to know first, did it come out the geofence warrant? White van guy, made a few deliveries in the area. Boom, bong. We got to talk to him. I don't blame you 1,000. Go talk to him all day long. Who else have they honed in on like that? Have they spoke to anybody else that we don't know of? Because all that was coming across the scanner chatter, right? Because the minute they turned their eyes on Carlos, well, not the minute, because they was looking at him before we knew about it. But when they were following Carlos and getting ready to pull him over, that's when they began to deploy all those teams, and the elite hostage rescue team and the bomb squad and all that came out. SWAT team. What if the tip was correct and he was the guy and Nancy was in that house? Now you got to now you move in. Then they all packed up, went back home after Carlos was let go. And here's the thing about that with these networks, there's a very good chance they're out of the country. One or two of the players. But I don't know what kind of clues that we. So the first letter states, you'll know it's, or the second letter that came in, you'll know it's me because this is something inside that house. And we were told that it's something to do with the Apple Watch, the placement of the watch in the home. That's going to prove to you, I know what I'm talking about. I was in that house. But we haven't arrested that guy yet, or girl, or whoever is behind those original emails. That's a problem. They found Jose, or I keep saying Jose, Carlos pretty quick and got his number. Why can't we find who's sending these ransom emails in? Because there's a real good chance we got a legit kidnapping on our hand by some really highly sophisticated criminals. I'm not going to place jerk off at the door as one of those people. I'm going to call him the hired gun. It don't take much to get them guys going. Oh, I don't know, Jed, if they got missing posters up or not. Who knows? I know there's signs going up all around town in support of Miss Nancy, and things like that. They are putting her flyer out there now on the kidnapped and missing, but I don't know what's happening around the town as far as who's hanging up what, you know? I mean, I think they all know she's missing. We had a whole damn, look, I got over flyers in the Sebastian Rogers case, all that fighting about flyers being taken down. They're taking down flyers of Sebastian. Why are they? Stop it. You know, I don't know. I don't live there. I haven't seen the town. It all might be online. You know what I mean? It's like everybody kept saying in Sebastian's case, when you go to Walmart, here's the thing. When I go to Walmart, I'm a busy mother and I'm trucking it in there and I'm getting what I got to get and I'm trucking it right back out the door. I'm not going to stop and turn around and look for their pegboard with the missing flyers and go look at it. It's not in my face for me to see it when I walk in the door. But you expect me to walk way over there to a board that I'm not even sure, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not in full display. Sometimes the posters, do people even pay attention? How many times do y'all pay attention to every flyer you see strapped to a telephone pole? Missing kid, missing dog, missing cat. Do you look at them or do you continue to walk right past them? Because you're in a hurry and you got the tunnel vision. You saw the paper, but you don't know what it said. Well, they took Nancy on Saturday night. The first ransom came in Monday night. Now, according to Jose's search warrant, why do I keep calling this dude Jose? Carlos. According to Carlos' search warrant, from what I understand, it's very simple. There's not a ton in it, but they wanted to know, so they have to get specific in the warrants what they're going to go in there and look for. They were looking for medical devices and medication. So I want to go back to that first press conference and listen again. Does he just say this woman needs her medication, or does he say she's gone, but her meds are absolutely in that house? Why would you risk killing your victim if you want to exchange her for money? Would you ask her beforehand, do you need anything before we leave? That we did make sure you got your stuff. Hell, I'll get you some snacks too. He said, no way, Jose. Carlos is talking. He's like, I don't know what the hell. I'm just out trying to deliver shit, man, and this happened to me. Again, Carlos, I'd be asking my friends, did I make you that mad that you turned in a bad tip on me? Or did y'all get me out of a geofence warrant? And then again, they could have absolutely caught a clear image of Carlos getting out of his delivery van at the neighbors, right? And walking up and delivering a package. Boom, we got Carlos. He's all we got. He's got a white van. We got a sus van. We got a bunch of Karens in that neighborhood, apparently. The kind of Karens, if you don't look just right, you might be suspicious. How many of them are nice to their delivery drivers, I wonder? That Karen walking the dog, I'm sure she's not. That's what I said, Anna. He might have got swatted. It sounds like it, according to his mother-in-law said, when they showed up at her door, they told her they got a tip Nancy was in the house. We got the hostage rescue team staging along with SWAT and the bomb squad. They took that threat and that tip, whatever it may be, incredibly seriously, and I think we should be okay with that. Because I'm not going to come out here and be a freedom fighter for Carlos. I'm just not going to do that today because it feels wrong when we've all sat here screaming for a week, do your jobs. And they finally question somebody based on information they received, and we're going to get mad at them because he was the wrong guy? Are y'all perfect? Do y'all wake up every day perfect and beautiful and go through your entire day without making one single mistake? Are you not a messy person? Are you not? I mean, I'm not saying y'all are messy, but you know what I'm saying? Are you perfect? Every single thing you do from the time you wake up and put your feet on that floor till you go back to bed that night, was everything you did throughout the day perfect? Did you drop something in the kitchen? Because that's not perfect. That's an accident. Oops, I spilled something. I think sometimes people sit on their pedestals around these streets, you know what I'm saying? And they forget human nature. Hell, I've been studying human nature since I've been born, and it scares me. It terrifies the shit out of me a lot of times, but I still have to pay attention because I'm a human. Well, they say I am. It's debatable. Depends on who you ask. My mom swears we have alien blood in us because we're a little weird. Our bodies are not like most people's. They react very differently. We have autoimmune disease. That's why we're freaks. Our bodies are a freak of nature. Ah, all right, guys. I think um so I think they're going to do that News Nation special tomorrow. I think I saw something about it like a day or two ago. Oh, Jacoff, you've been asking some ridiculous questions too. Like that one time you said blood wasn't DNA. Remember that time? We all laughed and laughed and laughed. That was before Karen Reed sleuthing picture taking incident, ma'am. But you've had some bizarre comments for an FBI agent. I just don't know what to do with that one. Like, oh, here's another picture of that's them cleaning the pool. That ain't gonna do me no good. I'm on the hunt for pictures of the guest house before the FBI took them away. Oh, did somebody see? Okay, y'all tell me if this is the jacket because I'm not buying it. It might look like it, but look at the damn sleeves. Okay. The jacket Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper wore matches an Arrow Hex windbreaker. Authorities are investigating. The only problem I've had with this whole jacket is that ribbed bottom and the sleeves have the same exact ribbing. Does this guy's have all that? You can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Rachel says that she can't hear me. I need to know if y'all can hear me in the chat. Y'all can hear, but was it when I took that image down? I don't know why Rachel couldn't hear. Okay, y'all can all hear me. Yeah, I'll try to put that picture back up. If my internet's wonky, I'm going to have to come back later. I'm going to have to come back tonight anyway to do that audio because I got to top up this internet. But that shouldn't have happened. I don't know why she couldn't hear me for a second. Unless it freaking muted me again like it's done before. God dang, it's burning up in Florida. I got to turn the fucking air on. Jesus. I said January and February is my coldest months, but apparently not. Maybe I lost the post. Who was that posted that? TMZ? Hang on, let me get back to it. Fox News reports prosecutors have requested Don Lemon's phone. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm trying to get back to that post, y'all. I'll find it and we'll show the jacket again if I can get it to come up. I don't know who drew that sketch of this guy. I don't know where this came from, who did it initially. I saw it, but a sketch artist named Lois Gibson. All right, if my sound goes out, let me know. How do you come up with a sketch when all you got's some eyeballs? How? Are we supposed to blast this photo everywhere across the country saying, look for this man? Day 13 sketch artist Lois Gibson, who was featured on Today's Show, released a sketch. Not released by the FBI, mind you. Come on. It's a stretch sketch. It's ridiculous and it's dangerous. You might need to quit chiming in. I'll have to go find photos of that jacket thing. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. The ribbing on the bottom. We'll watch the video and again in a second if I can get it to play fluently. Who was featured on the Today Show? Exactly, Keith. How can we sketch a guy who's got a mask on? I couldn't tell you what his fucking cheekbones look like. High, low, deep, dark. What? Nose, wide nose, skinny nose. Come on. You can tell that from the mask, the way it... I'm back to the jacket. Ribbed or not ribbed? Okay, we see the ribbing. We see the black line. All the things, all right? So let's go watch that video. Because everybody and their brother is trying to figure out what this dude's been wearing. I'm like, I'm not freaking hurting my brain over all that. Y'all go figure it out. Go look at all of it. I'll go look online once you pull it up and tell you if it's really there or not. Because I didn't see that particular brand on the Walmart website in my Walmart. But okay. Again, I got an issue with that. All right, let's get to that video. All right, let me get that pulled up. There's no ribbing on this jacket. Not in my opinion. Let's go back to the beginning. All right. Is that a ribbed sleeve? And I just can't tell because of the way the camera is. Is that really what that is? Around the white, around the edge? Is that the ribbing right there? Just doesn't feel... Look, the bottom of that jacket comes down just over his ass a little tiny bit. Does it look ribbed to y'all like that?
All right, joining
Right,
us now
Keith.
live on the phone is the FBI
How do we know
Director,
that, right? He could have a big old scar. He could have anything. And they would put that sketch out. No ribbing, right? You guys see it too? I mean, everybody has seen that same video. Where are they getting that? It's a very similar looking jacket, and it might turn out that that's the one, but I just don't see how they got that from that video because it doesn't look like anything's got that ribbing in it to me. That one may be a little too blurry. Let me see. Because that was a zoomed in. That's not very tight around his wrists, around, the gloves. He looks like his hands are stuffed in there. But that jacket, I just don't see it. I mean, I've always noticed that lighter color there, but could that be a ribbing right there at the very edge, but not like super tight? Yes, look close. End of sleeves, knit edges curled over bulk underneath. Look like he's wearing wrist guards. I don't know. It also looks like wearing boxing gloves. I mean, shit. I mean, everybody saw that little, what they think's a tattoo. Everybody colorized their images. Hell, I'd played around with them on my own phone because I need to just to like brighten them up to see if I could see anything else. And then but I don't publish those pictures. And there was a lot. We reviewed the ones the other day. And one had him in a super green mask. One had him in a tan. One had him in a red. People are playing with their color. They're playing with the images. But everybody knows that everybody's an expert on jackets now. Nothing about that jacket ever seemed like it was super tight around the wrist or around the bottom of the jacket. But that don't mean this video is so shitty. Well, it's not as shitty as it could have been. See, here's an example of the colorized. Look at the two different colors in the guy's mask. That was not released by the authorities. Neither was this one. Now his mask is gray. Now, this one's blurry because it was zoomed in, and even on the non-blurry images I have, it was hard to see if there was glass fragments. Now Mike's reporting glass fragments, but it could have been plastic pieces as well. We got to take everything coming in with a grain of salt. I would imagine if he busted that camera or the casing or anything to do with it, there's going to be some pieces that fall to the ground. Unless he's Doug Carter and he's magic and it just fell into his hands and he took it with him. Right, Keith? Why are they not? They're just letting that freak flag fly all over the place, right? But those who ask legit questions, oh, you're the big bad guys. But people can come out here and put out their fudgy ass pictures and say, look what I did. I can do the same thing on my fancy fucking phone. Oh my God. Sometimes my sister be messaging me and it's the most comical shit I've ever seen. Never a dull moment with this one. Gotta love her. Sorry, I got sidetracked when I got a message. Ruth Ann, be careful driving home. You on your way home? Yeah. I mean, it's lightening up the pictures and trying to see background stuff. You know, there's one thing, but to publish them and say, look, you know, I can make that hat look or his face mask look 15 different colors. I did it on my phone yesterday, playing around. Like, why would people do that stuff? But you need to be very clear when you publish it that I've done this, right? Because some are doing that. Like Gigi, she was playing around with stuff, but she was telling people when she was tweeting, all I did was this, this, or this. But you got others posting it as if this is what came down from the authorities. And people who aren't paying close enough attention, like all up in the YouTube streets and live streams, are just getting it, scrolling Twitter or hopping on the mainstream media. Are they going to see it and think that's real? You know? But the FBI can't stop you from your freedom of expression and doing what you want to do. But people should be a little bit more accountable with themselves. Like the ones who want to hijack a case for their own agenda. Big bad FBI. Big bad. I wish they had come to the case I liked. We sure could have used them there. They had a real good theory until Delphi kicked them out. And now all of a sudden, some of them same people saying the FBI is bad. I don't know if it's because they don't like cash or what. I don't fuck around with that dude. I don't care. I ain't read one tweet I've seen in 6 months come across my feed about that guy because I feel like I got other things to worry about. Like, what are y'all capable of doing? What are y'all capable of doing, FBI, with your, what is that unit called? It's the financial, I got it wrote down on my notes about Carlos, because they absolutely talk about it in that audio. So, yeah, Rachel, responsible. There's not a bunch of... I lost faith in responsible adults when I found social media. Let's just be Facebook. So many non-adults running around over there. And it's not that, I mean, people can do what they want, but don't Just messy people are messy people. Nothing we can do about it. Stop asking what's wrong with today's youth and look in the mirror, right? That's all we can tell them. But I think I'm going to wrap it up for right now, guys, and go see if we have any actual good updates in a little while. That anything, I'm really wanting to hear news about these letters and what they're doing to find who wrote the letters. Because I'm not going to put up with jackasses behind a keyboard thinking they can for a minute. Miss Nancy is more important than you, and always will be. You need to be caught. And if those letters are real, double down on catching that person, right? The fact that they haven't got them yet is not good. Keith, you're right. Today is the 13th. Abby and Libby. 9 years ago. And look at the fiasco there, right? Look at it. And my mind goes back to how we did not like the fact that the FBI was kicked out. I just don't understand people's mentality. You can't like something one day and hate it the next. Take it on a case per case basis, maybe, but not as a whole entity. It's weird. If you're hating on them today, then you might not have liked them 9 years ago either. But you know, I gotta go turn this air on before I absolutely burn up in this room, in my office here. Yes, rest in peace, Abby and Libby, and we're keeping an eye on the appellate process there with Rick Allen. I know a lot of people think he's not the guy. Some think he's absolutely the guy. I sit on the fence where I have no idea, but I don't think so. You didn't prove. Here's the thing about these videos. Everybody put this video out. We need the public's help. Identify this man. Watch. I've seen all these talking heads. Watch his gait. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. Did y'all not see the bridge guy fiasco for how long was it, Keith? Nobody recognized that dude. Not his face, although we couldn't see it that great. They didn't recognize the gate. Nobody recognized the sketch in the CVS as being the same guy who worked in the CVS. So again, they're so sure they're going to catch this guy by releasing that image to the public of a covered up face, right? And y'all going to watch his gait and y'all know who he is. You'll notice that gait. Well, apparently nobody noticed Rick Allen's. I mean, for years. All right, Keith, I'm about to head out of here too for the day. Come back later. Very average. This guy's apparently very average too. 5'9", 5'10", average build. I mean, everyman America, almost. I mean, right? We don't got much to go on, do we? So all we can do is hope that there's more video. Don't know if it's going to, show the guy's face at all, ever. But is there more than one person inside that house once this person makes their way in? That's what I'm stumped at as well. And a lot more, actually. Hey, go on, little kitty cat. Now ain't the time. Like, she just about jumped right in my lap. It's like, I don't know what she was doing. What do you want? This is usually her sleepy time. Oh. She sneezed at me. All right, I was just looking at my notes to make sure there wasn't anything that we need to talk about right this minute before we leave. Because I do have that audio from Carlos Stop. And a little bit of information about what might have been in that search warrant. But other than that, we're going to have to wait and see what kind of updates come down throughout the day. I mean, I could pull up a ton of things to watch, but all of them are going to be people talking about the same things, right? Like, I'm looking for what were the neighbors being asked when their doors were approached? What particular kind of cameras? We heard outdoor camera footage from over there in Annie's neighborhood. We've heard now cell phone, white truck. I'm looking for that kind of information. Yeah, y'all keep Miss Nancy in your. I know y'all are keeping her in your thoughts, your prayers, whatever you do. Keep her held up, right? That's all we can do. And I don't mind people tying a yellow ribbon around a tree, but right now, stay off Miss Nancy's property. I understand the good intent behind all of that, but you're just putting more out there that don't need to be out there right now, right? Of course, you already had a little. I mean, I get it, but right now, stop. We just It's time to take a break. Oh, not me. Okay, yeah, we're about to end. I gotta do a couple things around here. Um, y'all might see me back here this evening. That way we can get this audio stuff over and done and reviewed. That way tomorrow, if things start popping off, we've got the time we can focus on that. And of course, tonight I'll be getting updates throughout. I don't know if we're just. It feels like we're at a standstill at the moment until maybe figuring out where those letters came from can actually get a lead. I don't know what else to think about it at this point. I don't see the crook may not have walked right all up into her house with a pinging cell phone. It's a whole thing. All right. And I'm really trying to put together the timeline of events that went off through the week, right? As far as things with the investigation wise. So I'm still working on that. All right, I'm going to go for the day, guys. I will probably come back this evening so we can look at this, listen to this audio together if y'all are interested. And I'll see what else I have that we can present and talk about as well. And maybe review. All right, guys. Well, y'all go have a good afternoon. Have a good dinner. All those good things. Take care of your business. Don't get overwhelmed on these streets. Take everything you're seeing with a grain of salt, right? And don't let the internet get you worked up, because it will. It can get me worked up if I'm not careful. I'll be like, that's when I know I have to turn it off. Last night, I literally had to turn it all off and put it down. And I just went and watched TV for a while. Mindless TV on top of that. All right, y'all go have a good one. Keep your notifications on and watch out for the bell.
Thank you.